One day down, baby. One day down. Everybody still feel good? Nobody need a vacation day yet? We all survived.
Let's go.
Monday.
Let's go. Let's get warmed up, man.
We are basically there. Am I overly excited just for college football this weekend? Because you've made it. By the way, I watched just enough. I got home from some stuff last night and flipped on the Commanders and the Ravens. And I'll be honest, even a Monday night Commanders-Ravens regular season game wouldn't really have my attention.
So you mean you saw the Ravens 24-game winning streak broken yesterday? Did you witness it?
By definition, I saw a Sam Howell drive and then a few plays from the Ravens, and that's what I saw. Does that count?
So you did not see the
no, I did not.
24-game preseason win streak broken.
That's a shame. It's a shame on me for forgetting about the 24-game win streak. Shame on me for not staying up to watch it.
It was a big one.
But I tell you what, it took an all-time performance from Sam Howell, I believe, in the first half, because at least from what I could gather, Howell was just red hot yesterday early on in that game. But I did not. My preseason football, I told you, my preseason NFL, I've maxed out. I've maxed that out. We're on to now New Mexico State and UMass. 7 o'clock primetime. Two teams in some ranking that are both outside the top 100.
Very far outside the top 100, I'm sure.
One of them is 104. I'll find the tweet again from yesterday. One of them is 104. The other one is dead last.
We established that New Mexico State is not the Lobos. They are the Wolfpack that we established?
The Aggies.
Well, no, that's not going to work because I already have Aggies. There's already one Aggies in my mind.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, I believe that's right. I this is your ESPN primetime game this week, which at 8 o'clock I'll flip over to Vanderbilt in Hawaii and start scouting the Commodores. I'll break out the notepad.
Clark Lee.
Get ready.
My guy.
I need to look. I haven't looked. I'll be honest. I have yet to go into Vegas. Yesterday or Sunday was the first time I've really gotten into Vegas Insider to look at the yearly over-under wins that we did yesterday. So aside from the fact that Notre Dame Navy is just at the top, when I've pulled it up occasionally and seen the point spreads, that's the only reason I know that's a 20.5 point spread and why I know that that's what they're favored by. But I am ready for college football, and I'm a little upset that we're being treated to. This is the problem. This is why the Pac-12 is falling apart, and I say this seriously. Is that at 7 o'clock on Saturday night we have this UMass New Mexico State game and Southern Cal, who look I would watch. I mean, I would want to see. Caleb Williams. I'd want to see Marshawn Lloyd. I'd want to see Southern Cal, who everybody is claiming to be back.
Marshawn Lloyd, shout out to him. We'll be talking about him later in our transfer portal preview segment.
Good deal. Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. But yeah, no, I would be much more into that. But Saturday night, I know our buddy Carlton, who's probably already up and listening, he's fired up. We get your buddy, Nashawn Goddard.
Yep.
And South Carolina State taking on Jackson State on ABC at 7:30 on Saturday night.
Big one. Big game. Big game. Obviously, they sort of scheduled that win after the celebration, big victory in the Celebration Bowl, and maybe in conjunction with thinking that maybe Deion was going to be there. That's probably the impetus of that, but hopefully Buddy Pugh go down there and wipe him up again.
Look, I'm just ready for college football.
You're ready.
I've hit that point now. It's kind of here. Notre Dame Navy, again, about a 20.5 point spread. I'm ready for that. And then next Thursday, you roll through Saturday, and then next Thursday we get a decent little schedule. Some games. Nebraska and Matt Rule and Marcus Satterfield will play next Thursday night at Minnesota. Florida and Utah will be the game that we'll be completely involved in. And then Friday morning, just FYI on this, for those of you that keep up with where exactly and what exactly we're doing. This Friday, Preston and I are out at Charwood for the preseason kickoff golf tournament. over at Charwood Golf Club. We'll be broadcasting live from there from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. You can come out and join us, hang out with us. I learned today. Do you know we're doing a Putts with Preston?
Awesome.
Are you aware of this?
Not.
Jen, were you aware of this?
I read the promo yesterday afternoon. That's how I found out.
I watched yesterday morning. And I can't ever remember the actual name of it, whether it's Pony, because I messed it up one time, whether it was the 30 for 30 Pony Excess or Pony Express, because the Pony Express was what they called the backfield tandem of Craig James and Eric Dickerson.
I don't know if it's named Pony Excess, but that's a great name.
Well, that's what
it is.
Yeah, like I don't know if I dreamed and came up with that, or if that's the actual.
That's actually better.
Yeah, but it's obviously Pony Express was what they called it. But they were talking, and I've seen it before, but it's sometimes you watch, and I watched it when it initially came out, which now is several years ago, but rewatching it yesterday and just listening to them talk about what was going on in the state of Texas. Like, it's when I'm hearing the words uttered, Baylor was buying players left and right. I'm like, man, what a wild time in Texas that was. But it talked about how the SMU players learned of the death penalty, learned of their program being canceled through the television reports. It wasn't the AD that came in or the president said, hey guys, we're about to have a press conference. Got some really bad news for you. They were like sitting around watching television. So I learned yesterday we're doing Putts with Preston from 8 to 9 through a promo that we will be reading later on this morning.
And I learned
through me telling you right now.
Approximately 30 seconds ago.
So
isn't that awesome?
It's cool.
Get your putter out.
All right.
Come prepared.
I think he doesn't have one, so that could be part of the problem.
And he's left-handed too. He's left-handed, so we're going to have to find him Rock is going to have to find him a putter for Friday. Mm-hmm. So we'll put Rock in charge of that. But yeah, how about that? We'll have Putts with Preston. So you want to come out, even if you're not playing, come join us, hang out with us this coming Friday. Now the following Friday, we're going to have a giddy, just over the top Jen Jensen, because we are back in Darlington as we get ready for the first playoff cup race of the 2023 season. And we're going to go down there. Jen, are you bringing cake or cupcakes? What are we doing to show up to celebrate Carrie's last Darlington race as president?
I don't know. I need something fun we should do.
Mm-hmm. That was my thinking too. Something fun. Kind of the definition of this show. Something fun.
Yes.
So we've got.
But I think just us being there is probably enough of a gift for him. But we could do something a little extra.
Wow, because everybody tells me that I'm the conceited one, I'm the braggadocious one on the program, and I'm over here talking about maybe we should take him something. You're saying no, just us being there is present enough. I
believe it was Jay-Z who said, "My presence is my presence."
There you go.
Oh, nice.
Very good. Very good. So we've got that really for us as we get you ready and we get going here for the start of college football season. We'll talk a lot about that today. Big news yesterday, obviously, Preston, Jim Harbaugh, Michigan self-imposes a 3-game penalty or a 3-game suspension on him. I feel like this is something, have you really paid attention to this story?
Have I paid it? Off and on. The more ridiculous it got, the more I started paying attention. When I heard it was just about breakfast burgers, actually. Then I had my attention then, and then the NCAA got involved, and I was like, I don't want.
And they even had like one of a little snarky remark, something about not cheeseburgers, like that was in the press release. Like, okay,
yeah. So I was there for that, but then I was like,
Well, if you pay attention, Michigan has really played this well. Like, Michigan has really played this well. And there's reason to think that maybe this is Jim Harbaugh's last year at Michigan, that maybe he's already looking ahead and knowing how to truly avoid the guillotine and whatever the NCAA might be coming back with. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up here in the next segment. We got a busy morning. Peter Wilkerson will join us. The Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp taking place this coming Saturday at Cardinal Newman High School. You can sign up ages 9 to 16. South Carolina players Jacoby Wright and Zach Davis will be there. Clemson player Josh Beadle will be there. So we'll catch up with Peter Wilkerson coming up at about 6:30 and tell you about this basketball camp that will be taking place here at Cardinal Newman. J.C. Shurburtt will join us this morning. One thing we're going to do that we didn't do yesterday, I want you to, your depth chart, rank the first-year head coaches. Rank the first-year head coach. Well, and remember, by first year, I'm referring to guys in their first year at their new job. Luke Fickell, Hugh Freeze, Matt Rule, Jeff Brom, Scott Satterfield. These guys have all coached, but they're in new positions. Scott Satterfield leaving Louisville to go to Cincinnati. Jeff Brom leaving Purdue to come back to his alma mater. That's an interesting one. Matt Rule, who I just mentioned, will coach next Thursday night in his opener out at Nebraska. Hugh Freeze, obviously we know about him, and Luke Fickell. Zach Arnett, the other one I've got on the list. We'll get to that. A lot of other college information to talk about, so we'll get into all that. And is it tonight we've got the official preview? Or not the preview, but the official
viewing party.
Mm-hmm. We'll tell you Swamp Kings. And apparently, from what I've read, South Carolina's featured pretty prominently in this thing.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
South Carolina's featured
I'm sure they are.
Pretty prominently. Swamp Kings talking about the Urban Meyer era at Florida.
I can think of one game in particular.
You may have to have a police officer at your house just to make sure you're protected, even from the documentary with some of the guys that were on that team. So we'll do all that this morning. A lot to get to. If you want to weigh in, you can join us on the Firehouse Subs text line 803-404-6100. Of course, as always, the Love Chevy phone lines. You're listening to Preston Thorne, Bill Gunner, Jen Jensen. It's the early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game.
The halftime show is broadcasting live from the Tile Shop in Harbison, right next to Total Wine and More. Come see the 75 full displays. The Tile Shop does total designs. Tomorrow from noon to 3.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
I was driving in this morning and heard that once again, temperatures going to be somewhere around the high 90s with it feeling over 100. Oh, that is not the way to be spending your day outside. You need a great air conditioner. And you know what? I'd like to brag and tell you that I was smart, that I was thinking ahead, but actually I just was trying to upgrade the house. And back in February, the folks at AAA Heating and Air came out and did a phenomenal job. I've had a new air conditioner this summer, and let me tell you what, the Gunner household has been nice and cool. I hadn't had a problem at all. It's run perfectly, all because the folks at AAA Heating and Air were there to take care of me, and they'll do the exact same thing for you. Call them today. Call a Comfort Advisor, 803-677-1500. Find out how the Inflation Reduction Act, where you can save $3,800 in tax credits, how it can affect you. Call today, 803-677-1500. That's how you can get in touch with a Comfort Advisor. On top of that, AAA Heating and Air offers a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit, a 15-year parts and labor warranty to make sure it keeps working, and they guarantee financing. 803-677-1500. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
This is Carl Dukes with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by WeatherGuard Truck Boxes. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. The college football season is here, week 0. The game I'm interested in most, Navy versus Notre Dame in Dublin. Starting with Navy is one thing, but can the Irish win 10 games with Ohio State, USC, and Clemson on their schedule? Quarterback Sam Hartman, show me what you've got. I'm Carl Dukes.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Online at CordellCordell.com. 1201 Main Street, Suite 840, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
Sponsored by Taco Bell. In the morning, Taco Bell keeps it toned down and simple, like the breakfast crunch wrap, with fluffy eggs, sausage, melty cheese, and a crispy hash brown in a grilled tortilla.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, Robin says her husband is left-handed. The lone Coach P is putter.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Let's see. Courtney Levitt is already up and talking to us. Good to see him up. Anthony says, what kind of sports show are we to forget about the Ravens streak? That's a good point.
We didn't even have it on the docket yesterday.
But didn't even make it. Good morning, CW. DC. Everybody's kind of coming back in now that we're ready for the season. I guess we're never going to have this new live stream up and going. It looks like not only it looks like they've just finally given up on it.
Going backwards. Actually, we were going up the mountain, and I think we're rolling back.
The new live stream that we thought we were going to have back in like March is just. We may have to go back to starting the campaign to get Preston on the live stream with his own computer.
And that was my only saving grace. I was like, are we going to have computers? We're going to have cameras up here?
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I will be on the live. I'll be on the camera this football season. I'll say that.
We were
one way or another.
We were on a gravy train with biscuit wheels. Fell off. Yeah, because they don't even bother now trying to even. I don't know. That's funny. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good this morning. Every morning when I pull up outside and I get out, it's kind of muggy. I just tell myself how ridiculous it is. I got to wear a long sleeve pullover that I would wear in like November in here to stay warm. Yeah, no, I got in it. I don't know, like what I was going back to saying about the rundown thing is I got in. Yeah, Anthony says Preston's got to get that camera. Got to get on that camera. Yeah, we get him there. We thought we had. I mean, they got this whole. You can see right there in front of Preston that screen and these cameras that we had up here. We thought we had everything all set up, and it's like they just quit. It's like they were just like, hey, it's too hard. You know what? But all right, put y'all back in here. And have been that the beginning of Michigan's schedule, if you're looking at it, let me just tell it to you. Harbaugh was going to miss through the 4-game suspension a game against East Carolina.
Okay. The Pirates.
A game against UNLV.
Rebels.
And a game against Bowling Green.
The Bowling Greens. The Bowling Pins.
which obviously you
We
remember.
did play Bowling Green.
You did not.
We were supposed to play Bowling Green.
Do you know who the coach was of Bowling Green when you were supposed to play?
I do, which is the whole reason why I guess that game was sort of worked out. I'm imagining, but there was a common connection on staffs and all that stuff. So I'm assuming that's why that game was scheduled.
What was the connection on staff?
Lou Holtz.
Did Urban coach under him at Lou? Is that I knew he was at Notre Dame. Did he coach under?
He's a disciple.
Okay, I didn't realize. I knew that Urban had been at Notre Dame. If you don't know what we're talking about, I believe it was the. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was the Bowling Green game was supposed to have been the week of 9/11. Am I right on that? It was Bowling Green was supposed to be 9/11. Okay,
correct.
And then they ended up rescheduling Wofford late in the season, the bye week, I think, prior to Clemson. But
correct.
Anyway, Bowling Green. So. And then this is again what the deal was supposed to be between the NCAA and Michigan. There was going to be a fourth game, which was going to be the Big Ten opener against Rutgers.
Big game.
So you're talking about Jim Harbaugh being suspended for East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers.
Also, in that suspension, he was only suspended for game day.
Right.
He could be there all week, practice, prepare, all the way up to Friday. Just couldn't come to the game.
Yes.
Good job, NCAA.
Good. Well, so the NCAA, all of a sudden, that deal kind of fell through. So Michigan, and this is smart. I'm not laughing at Michigan. I'm not. This is because they know a suspension is coming. Michigan was proactive yesterday. Michigan announces that they will self-impose a 3-game suspension on Jim Harbaugh. And what they did do is take back the Rutgers game. All right, we gotta get him a warm-up game, but he will be out for East Carolina, UNLV, and Bowling Green. Preston, I could go coach Michigan with this.
Especially with your coaching staff being able to implement everything that you want them to do during the week.
Well, and again, as you just said, Jim Harbaugh will be allowed to coach during the week, but will be barred from coaching those games being, I guess, I'm guessing not even in the stadium. I'm assuming he's not even allowed to come to the stadium on game day.
So he's not going to pull about Bobby Valentine when he's going to put the mustache
and
glasses on?
I don't know. That does seem like Harbaugh would be in like the first row and bring like a Cabbage Patch Kid that sits next to him that looks like he has a child there.
I see those khakis. I know those khakis anywhere. That's you, Jim.
He'll have the pin tucked into his shirt and be just
it's
like.
Not me. Like we know those khakis.
Yeah, Tim Frawball is up in the stands with a Cabbage Patch Kid who's his. This is smart. This is a huge season for Michigan. This is the chance for Michigan for all the things. I've always been a Michigan fan for different reasons. Never been to the state of Michigan, let alone to Ann Arbor or obviously to the Big House. But with that being said, you look at college football this season, Preston, and I don't know if I were to ask you, all right, who is the challenger to Georgia? Who is the top challenger to Georgia? Would you go Michigan? Would you go ahead and go back to Alabama?
And this is obviously I'm SEC bias. Let's establish that. But my brother my brother's a Georgia fan. If you don't know that backstory, my brother's a Georgia fan. He went to the Orange Bowl when Georgia played Michigan.
Okay,
and he said the score wasn't close, but he was like it was even further apart on the field. Just the difference in speed, in size, and just overall athleticism between those two teams.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if that difference has been made up. I know Georgia has gotten obviously exponentially better as far as recruiting and size and all of that type of stuff. Michigan is very good, I think, but I don't know if they've closed that gap when it comes time to compete with these types of teams. Now, they have beaten Ohio State, but there's question marks about Ohio State also.
Rich weighs in and goes, are y'all really that naive to think Harbaugh wouldn't be coaching the team behind the scenes on game day? If it was a Big Ten game, Rich, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works in terms of like, look,
the thing is he's going to be able to do a bulk of the coaching as far as game planning, prep week, all of that stuff. So the actual day-to-day, I don't know. I'm not saying he's above trying to find a way to get in. I'm not claiming naivete, but I don't know if it is actually even necessary.
If it's necessary, yeah, it's almost like just don't even, because he can again coach up to, I don't know, maybe midnight on Friday I don't know what it doesn't break down what the official rule is when he has to step away from the team. Like, is it at 12:01 a.m. on Saturday morning because that becomes game day? You're right. He can do everything he wants to do, and then I don't know what I don't know what he is technically responsible for during a game. Like, does he make the call on 3rd and 3? All right, we're going to run it here. I mean, he's got coordinators.
I mean, he's definitely relinquished a little bit of the play calling responsibilities over the years, so that's not the case. He's probably he's in charge of game management, time, and I just don't think he would even need to do that.
It would be different, say, if they had I think next year they're supposed to play, I don't know actually, because now it's a conference game. I think they were supposed to play Washington or Oregon next year in a non-conference game. But that's one. It would be different if it was a big opponent. East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green. I could just see him saying, "You know what? I'm gonna sit on the couch." Although Harbaugh doesn't strike me as a relaxing kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
So I do agree with that. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in. We'll get back into this here a little bit later, but a lot to get to this morning. Coming up next, we're going to catch up with Peter Wilkerson. They have got the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp taking place August 26th, this coming Saturday at Cardinal Newman High School. We'll tell you more about that. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got a take? Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line. Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen. 803-404-6100. On your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
With football season coming up, you might be a little bit too busy to keep the house clean yourself. Come on, let's be honest. You're going to be laid up in front of the couch all day or on the couch all day watching football. You don't have time to break out the vacuum cleaner, to mop the floors, to do all those things that makes the house look beautiful. All you got to do is make a phone call, though. You can contact Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning and let them come out to the house with their patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven to keep the carpets, the rugs, the tile, the upholstery all insanely clean. So if you're ready for that big watch party, guess what? Zerorez is ready to get the house clean. Call today, 803-262-4020, and mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. That's right. Let me repeat that. Mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. So maybe you got a big Notre Dame Navy watch party planned this week. Call Zerorez, 803-262-4020, or schedule with ease online, ZerorezColumbia.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, is the right way to clean.
High school coverage on 107.5 The Game is sponsored by Love Chevrolet.
You've been hearing about the Wetzel's Automotive difference. Well, no matter what's ailing your car, Wetzel's can figure it out. Here's Rob Wetzel.
As far as diagnostics, you've got that check engine light, or you take off in the morning and your car is hucking and bucking and you're just like, what is going on? Well, we can go into that. We can diagnose your transmission. We can diagnose what a lot of people call drivability. Sometimes it just boils down to basic maintenance. It doesn't have to be an expensive repair.
Wetzel's Automotive.
2017 Augusta Road in West Columbia, 803-739-2999, wetzelsauto.com.
Snakes, rodents, and mold all live and grow beneath your home and eventually will find their way inside. Canty Foundation Specialist is your local trusted expert in crawl space sealing. Call us today for a free estimate.
Canty can fix it.
Moisture and high humidity in your crawl space create an environment for mold and mildew and affect the air you breathe inside your home. Call Canty for a free inspection today at 753-1495 or visit cantycanfixit.com.
At Atkins Law, we are proud alumni of USC. Since graduating, our attorneys continue to be proud supporters of Gamecock sports.
And we understand that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see on the field. There's practice, there's diligence, there's...
I don't know. Carlton, Preston is working on Nashawn to see if we can hook him up. You had any chance to catch up with him?
I have talked with Nashawn. They are deep in the trenches this week for sure. Next Monday, we will for sure be able to get next Monday.
Harbaugh also does strike me Will Muschamp-esque that Harbaugh does not take vacations. Harbaugh definitely strikes me as a no vacations, no thrills kind of guy. You got
One thing I got to do with my little bag is put another pin in there. Where'd that?
Here's one.
We don't have that.
Here's the other one.
Oh, here, you take that one. That's all I need. I'm going to just go ahead. The whole effort of actually, so I need to scratch that.
TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
I-20 westbound at Faro Road, we do have a report of an accident there. And Long Green Parkway at Spring Park Drive, an accident as well. The heat continues, looking for a high of 100 today. Of course, that's before the heat index. 91 for the high tomorrow, 94 on Thursday. It's 76 right now at 107.5 The Game.
What you're talking about.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. 107.5 The Game.
Coming up this Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. over at Cardinal Newman High School. If you want to sign up your son from age 9 to 16, it'll be the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp. And joining us now to talk a little bit about that, Peter Wilkerson. Peter, how you doing this morning? Welcome in on a not at all a cool August Tuesday.
No, it is going to be hot today. That is right.
So the big thing is there will be air conditioning in the gym over at Cardinal Newman. That'll make it a lot easier. But talk a little bit about the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. this coming Saturday, Cardinal Newman High School. And you guys have got some special guests that'll be there as well.
That's right. This is my third year doing this camp. We've done it every fall about the same time of year, which is always, it's nice to get in the gym on a Saturday, especially when it's so hot. But we do a camp and we have some special guests coming. We've got two Gamecock men's basketball players in Jacoby Wright and Zach Davis that are going to be there. And then also for the first time, we also have a Clemson Tiger who's going to be there as well with Josh Beadle, who starred at Cardinal Newman High School. He's going to be there as well, which is always just, it's so much fun to do a camp with those guys. Kids will listen to me to a certain extent, but when you get guys that have that high level of playing and are currently doing it, it just really makes for a great camp experience for those kids.
Talk a little bit about, you've obviously got the players. You mentioned Zach Davis. You mentioned Jacoby Wright and Josh Beadle. Talk a little bit about the other coaches that'll be there and what some of the drills that they'll be going through.
Yeah, absolutely. So myself, I'm the head boys basketball coach at Northside Christian Academy. So I'll be there, as well as we're going to have, Marquette Carr, who is the head coach at Chapin High School. He's going to be one of the coaches there. We actually have a Ohio High School Basketball Hall of Fame coach, and Jack Greathouse. I've gotten to know him the past couple of years, and he's phenomenal, and he always comes down and participates with that. We actually also just got the brand new Heathwood Hall boys basketball coach to come to that, which I'm really excited to have him on board. That will be new. he just agreed the other day to do that. And then Rob Rose, who's at Legacy Early College, Caleb Cahoon, who's the Cardinal Newman assistant coach, and Coach Dantzler at Dreher High School as well. So that's kind of where our staff is right now. It's a really good staff, especially in regards to camps. And what we're going to be doing a lot of is we're going to do a lot of in-game situations. So we kind of the skills and drills that we look to do, we do a lot of things with a games-based approach. So it will be very active. Kids will be playing in certain situations, all day long, and just really trying to improve their decision-making and basketball IQ.
Again, Peter Wilkerson joining us. It is the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp this coming Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. over at Cardinal Newman High School, ages 9 to 16. Talk a little bit about how you have the ages broken up, because I know like my son's 11, and sometimes you don't want like a 9-year-old playing with an 11 or 12-year-old. There's a little bit of a physical difference.
That's right. So we do break them up by age. And so we typically go 9, 10, 11, 12, kind of every 2 years. And then one of the nice things about having a camp like this is we are able to be very, very flexible with where we put kids. If, for example, if you have somebody, if you have a son who is a little bit bigger for his age or a little more advanced for his age, like we will push them. We'll make sure that they're in an environment where they're going to learn and they're going to be playing against kids their size, their age, and improving in that way. Because that's so important. Last thing you want to do is go and everybody's 2 feet taller than you, and it's just a horrible experience.
Can you talk about the importance of decision making for young athletes as they're going through their process of learning how to play?
Yeah, I honestly think, Preston, that's like one of the biggest problems that we have in American basketball right now, especially with youth basketball, is we don't give our kids enough opportunities to learn how to play the game. We play the game so often, but it's typically, full court, up and down, AAU setting, one team's pressing. But when it comes to actual basketball IQ and decision making, the ability to drive and make reads and read where the help defense is and figure those things out, it takes a very certain type of setting for kids to learn that. So we do a ton of 3-on-3 where we're putting guys in advantages where they have to quickly make decisions. So we actually we take a lot of soccer stuff, to be honest, because soccer, especially European soccer, does such a good job of that, of training decision making. So we take a lot of those kind of scenarios and we apply them to basketball just to help kids learn how to play the game the right way.
Peter Wilkerson joining us again, just about a minute left with him. Again, it'll be the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp this coming Saturday. If you want to sign up, cost for the camp is $85. Campers will receive a T-shirt. Lunch will be provided for no additional charge. Tell people how they can sign their son up for this great event.
Yeah, so the easiest way to do that is just to go to CBA4youth.com, and the 4 is the number 4. So it's CBA4youth.com. Our registration is online there. You can also email me at cbaballersinfo@gmail.com if you are unable to get to that. But those are the 2 easiest ways. If you go to our Twitter, if you just search CBA Ballers or CBA Basketball, it is also on our Twitter page as well, that link for registration.
Peter, man, we thank you. I think we've been a part of this this is now the 3rd year y'all have done it, and I think we have been a part of it each and every time. So glad to have you on. Good luck this weekend, and look forward to hearing about it later on.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Not a problem. That is the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp this coming Saturday, August the 26th at Cardinal Newman High School right here in town. Again, if you sign up your son, you can hang out. They'll have Jacoby Wright and Zach Davis from South Carolina and Clemson player Josh Beadle as well. So a great event to go and check out. $85 is the cost. Again, a T-shirt and lunch is provided. 803-404-6100. We come back. We'll get back into that Jim Harbaugh stuff. And Preston's got a transfer portal update. He has done his research. We'll let you know how these South Carolina transfer portal players are shaking out here across the country. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, and Jen Chins, the early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game.
The halftime show is broadcasting live from the Tile Shop in Harbison, right next to Total Wine and More. Come see the 75 full displays. The Tile Shop does total designs. Tomorrow from noon to 3.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
All great tailgates start with a trip to purchase the meat you're going to grill. That's how it gets started, because that is where you make the biggest decision. What are you going to cook this coming weekend? Is it going to be Italian chicken skewers or maybe a great bacon wrapped filet? These are the options you get when you visit Old Timey Meat Market. 3 locations to choose from: Irmo, South Congaree, and Lexington. And let me tell you what, I know exactly how I start my weekends, with a trip to Old Timey Meat Market, because they've got everything I'm looking for. Thick cut bacon for breakfast, delicious Southern biscuits that you can pop in the oven for 15 minutes. They're fantastic with breakfast. They've got a soup. They've got all kinds of great vegetables that you can pop in the oven to go along with your meals. That doesn't even include the great, fantastic cuts of beef, pork, poultry. You've got incredible seafood. A couple weeks ago, I got oysters at Old Timey Meat Market. You can do the same. Visit one of the 3 great locations: Irmo, South Congaree, or Lexington, where you'll probably run into me just wandering around the store having a great time. The folks at Old Timey Meat Market, they know how to treat their customers. It's why I go back all the time, and why I encourage you to stop by Old Timey Meat Market the next time you're in the market for a great cut of beef. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Go by Old Timey Meat Market today and tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Sponsored by Molina Healthcare. Feel better with Molina Healthcare.
With Molina Healthcare, you get a health plan with lots of great benefits, including a large network of quality providers. And that makes it easier to find the right doctor for you. For the care you need, close to home, choose Molina. Learn more now at meetmolinasouthcarolina.com.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has everything you need for the office and the classroom for less. Now save even more with $50 off your print and marketing services order of $150 or more. Offer ends 8/26. Visit staples.com/print for details. Save for your business at Staples.
Okay, so you're a guy. You don't feel as young as you used to. You're kind of dragging. No life drive, no sex drive. You have brain fog. You're not sleeping well. All sorts of stuff is going sideways. But you don't want to talk to anybody because we're guys. There's someone you can talk to. Dr. Dan Botnight at the Men's Clinic of South Carolina. Because honestly, what you could be going through could simply be low testosterone. One way to find out: a free consultation at the Men's Clinic of South Carolina, 803-875-MENS, or online, themensclinicsc.com.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hosting a career fair on Tuesday, August 29th from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. in Columbia. Stop by the SCDC recruiting office at 4502 Broad River Road to discover the rewarding careers and great employee benefits available with SCDC. They're hiring correctional officers, nurses, food services, facilities maintenance, teachers, mental health professionals, and more positions statewide. There's increased pay for many positions and sign-on bonuses starting at $7,500. Call 803-734-JOBS for more info.
No one likes to talk about the injuries, pain, disability, and lost loved ones that result from terrible car and tractor-trailer accidents. I'm Jason Reynolds. At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we're honored to be the lawyers our clients rely on during their toughest moments.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When a work injury disrupts your life, I work hard to get you the medical treatment and workers' compensation you depend on.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Sponsored by Express Employment Professionals.
Looking for your next job? Express can help. Express Employment Professionals has put more than 10 million people to work in the last 40 years in all types of industries with competitive pay and no fee to help you find a job. What are you waiting for? Visit expresspros.com today.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
(803-404-6100). That is how you can join us if you want to do so. I want to remind you the halftime show broadcasting live from the Tile Shop in Harbison, right next to Total Wine today from 12 to 3. You can come see the 75 full displays. The Tile Shop does total designs. Get out and see Jay and Terry today, 12 to 3 out in Harbison, right next to Total Wine and More, as they will be broadcasting live from the Tile Shop. So the transfer portal obviously giveth and taketh away. South Carolina, I think, has done a very good job. Let me go back and read this text, though, and see what you think, Brad, or Preston. This is from Brad, really, to start off the show. He says, is my hard line on not praising transfers too strict? And do many people feel this way? Praising transfers.
Okay, this is interesting because is this an ideological thing, as if we're just totally against transfers, or, which I think is very fair to say, let's not count anything from transfers until they actually show us something in the South Carolina uniform. Is that what he's saying? Because if that's the case, number two, I think I can agree with that.
No, I mean, he just says my hard line on not praising transfers too strict. And do many people feel this way? I mean, it is a good question. I'm with you on that because the transfer portal. Now, South Carolina's done fairly well. At this point, Terrell Dawkins has not maybe lived up to what you thought. I think David Spalding has been very good. I know I'm going to leave somebody up, but obviously we know what Juice Wells has been. Spencer Rattler, transfer portal, has been very good. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the transfer portal on the offensive line this year with Sidney Fugar, with Nick Gargiulio, with Jackson Hughes. You got to go through the list there.
Now I'm just laughing because I wonder if that hard line on transfer portals last year when Juice was blowing up, he's like, nope. Yeah. Don't care.
Well, I think when he says praising transfer, I'm assuming he means praising transfers before prior to play.
I do think that's I'm with you. I'm not sure if I've drawn a hard line on that, but now that you presented that as an option, I might be there with you.
Carlins Platel is another one who they did a good job of picking up and was able to provide some nice moments there. So South Carolina had four, and look, you can say what you want. These four guys would have been starters. These four guys would have been. I don't know how they would have used Jaheim Bell. That's another thing. But these four guys would have been starters: Jordan Birch, Marshawn Lloyd, Jaheim Bell, and Gilbert Edmond. What do you got so far?
Well, Bill, we have an update, and we hope to carry this tradition throughout the season. Because if you're like me, oftentimes you might wonder, hey, what's going on with that guy? Or you might be watching the game and it's like, oh, I remember that name. I would always get caught up watching Florida State the past couple of years when Jam would be out there. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I remember him.
So is this something like Transfer Portal Tuesday? Is that what we determined?
I think this is going to be like Transfer Portal Tuesday. I think this is what we're going to do moving forward. So
TP, that's great. Yeah, great. Let me get to work on that on that logo right now.
Get the TPs going. With that being said,
it's just rolling along.
Wow. Go ahead. What were you saying?
We have a couple of tiers I think we're working with here.
Okay.
Because there is the tier of, ooh, that one hurt, when they left.
Uh-huh.
There's also the tier of, okay, they left.
Yeah.
So let's start with the top tier first. One thing I did learn in doing my research, Bill, everybody's having great camps everywhere.
Yes. Nobody's had a bad camp.
Everybody's having a great
Except
camp.
for Juice Wells.
He's having a great camp too. I've researched all across the state, various levels, and one thing I can report around the country, everybody's ready to go. So with that being said, Jordan Birch, defensive end number 1 at Oregon.
Okay.
The end one's having a great camp. Going to be a leader. Jaheim Bell looking to lead the Florida State offense, tight end number 1, as reported by their depth charts. Austin Stogner.
Oh, I forgot about Stog. Yeah.
Austin Stogner. Definitely going to be leading a young tight end room at Oklahoma. He's going to be a leader, tight end number 1. Marshawn Lloyd. RB2.
Yes, I saw that behind Austin Jones.
RB2. Marshawn Lloyd is RB2 at the University of Southern California. Gilbert Edmond.
That's the one. You know what? People may think I'm crazy. That's the one I think that hurt the most. Gilbert Edmond, if you look at this team and what they need this year, if you paired him with Strawn, with Desmond Umizulu, Gilbert Edmond was the one that I was really high on. Jordan Birch, I think maybe he would have had a good year. Maybe I don't know what he's going to do. Gilbert Edmond, I thought was coming on, and I think he really would have flourished under Sterling Lucas.
DE2.
Yeah.
Florida State.
Yeah, he's kind of in a stand-up outside linebacker edge role.
I should say second team, not 2. Not 1-2, but he's actually 3-4. So DE 3-4, I should say, for Florida State for Gilbert Edmond. So that's our top tier. Now we go into our I forgot about that guy.
So as anonymous Sixers, so is that the 1-ply role? The I don't know, the 1-ply versus the extra soft, or is this the, or is that the?
These were the extra soft rippled.
Okay, all right.
This was good stuff. Now we're getting into the 1-plies. Jason Brown.
Is he still out there hanging around?
There you go, Jason Brown, QB1
at Jack. We can see him on. You can see him on Saturday night.
Correct.
How about that?
Correct.
Good. See,
there
you think
you go.
why are they doing this? Jason Brown still in college football somehow, and he will play quarterback for Jackson State on Saturday night against South Carolina State, 7:30 ABC.
Correct. Ryan Helensky.
Unbelievable that he's still in college also, but
QB3. Northwestern. QB3. Braden Davis.
Yeah. Yep. Syracuse battling for the backup spot.
QB3.
Lost it so far? Okay.
According to reports. RJ Roderick.
He's out of football.
Not on the depth chart.
No, he's not on the roster at Liberty.
Not on the roster.
We're not on the roster at Liberty. I saw that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're pretty good at this transfer portal
But
game.
unfortunately, I've paid attention to.
Pretty solid. And last but not least, Corey Rucker.
I have not. He went back. That's an odd one. What's he doing at Arkansas State?
Very little information out there.
Okay.
Very little information.
Arkansas State's preseason camp not covered quite like everybody else.
Not as much in-depth coverage. Although, and then I got sad because as I was looking for information out there, I saw all of Corey's very cool Twitter stuff from last year. You know, he was playing the guitar and he was meeting Don Staley. I really kind of like the kid, but he's not around anymore. So,
and I think you had one catch for a touchdown too, didn't he?
Yes, against South Carolina State, I believe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was against Charlotte. One of those 2 games. So, in our transfer portal tiers, we have our 2-ply and our 1-plies, and we are complete. Any surprises amongst that list?
No, Florida State's loaded. If you look at this honestly, I'm really interested to see Jaheim Bell's production there because Keon Coleman is a huge pickup for them out of the transfer portal, and then they have Johnny Wilson. Florida State is loaded. I don't know where Jaheim Bell fits into that. He'll get his touches and he'll make some plays for them this year. But did he go there to get the amount of touches he wants? Again, Marshawn Lloyd, some of this is how these transfers went down. I think we all expected after the Missouri game, Florida, like, yeah, Jaheim Bell's going to transfer. Like, he's not happy with his touches. Marshawn Lloyd, though, on the other hand, the way that all went down and even some things Shane Beamer has kind of alluded to, I think you're interested to see how he does and him being the backup, like going from being the definite starter here. Now, it might be a good thing. Maybe this opens the door for Dakereon Joyner to have this monstrous year and be drafted and go do great things. And I think if that were to happen, everybody would send thank you wishes to Marshawn Lloyd for getting out and allowing Dakereon Joyner to have the kind of season he wants. Gilbert Edmond's still the one that I think stings because of that entire group, I think he was ready to become that next defensive end for South Carolina. And that was the one that I was like, oh boy, that's not the one you wanted to lose. Jordan Birch, you never want to lose a kid you developed for 3 years, that you've coached up and going into his senior year, going into his final year. But he wanted to go all the way out west. Go get him, young man. I hope the best for him. Doesn't have to play South Carolina. And if South Carolina and Oregon play, it's probably going to be a big bowl game.
It would be. And in my pre-show research yesterday, he's wearing Birkenstocks now out in Oregon.
That was quick.
Mm-hmm. So he's fully converted.
JC Shurburtt will join us next. We'll continue on TPT Tuesday.
TPT Tuesday.
Yeah, TPT Tuesday. We'll keep you updated. JC Shurburtt up next. Some Gamecock talk, and we'll rank some first-year head coaches. It's the early game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
Hey, this is Son Cooper from Gamecock Men's Basketball, and you're listening to 107.5 The Game.
A Cumulus media station.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple of years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye, Neti Pot. Hello, Navage. End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Keith here with Jacob Crowder from First Palmetto Bank. Summer's here and the real estate market's heating up. And if you're building or buying a new home, you need to contact 107.5's longtime mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder. If you've ever needed a guru, it's in this market. First Palmetto Bank is owned and operated here in the Midlands with local decision makers. Processing and underwriting are made easy. If you're looking to make a move, give Jacob a call, 803-719-1005, or email him at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com.
Thanks, Heath. People are buying and building. With school out, we're seeing a lot of activity. Here at First Palmetto Bank, we have products that help home buyers keep payments down. Also, ask me about our refinance options that require zero money out of pocket. Finally, if you're considering building or renovating a home, please ask me about our no-nonsense construction loans. If I can help you, give me a call today, 803-719-1005.
You're making mortgages easy, doing refinances with no money out of pocket, and helping people build and renovate. If you're moving, make Jacob Crowder your first call, 803-719-1005.
Thanks, 107.5 listeners. You can also email me at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com. My NMLS number is 198432. First Palmetto Bank is a member of FDIC and
It's the Love Chevrolet Countdown to Gamecock Football. 11 days till kickoff.
Winner of Chevrolet's Mark of Excellence Award for Best in-Class Customer Experience. Maybe that's what Love customers love so much about Love Chevy.
I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com.
Find new roads.
What you're talking about.
On 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. No hassles, no all-day runarounds, no ridiculous add-on stickers. At Love Chevy, buying a car is fun. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen.
So anything you need, rain gauges and deer whistles, Jen's here for you. Preston's here on incredible football discussion.
Bill Gunter.
And I can help you with coffee and donuts.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
We've got a quality group here that knows how to cover all the bases.
107.5.
The theme of this show. I don't know what happened.
The Game.
7:02 on a Tuesday morning as we get you up and get you going. Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen. The early game as we roll along, counting down to the start of college football season this coming Saturday. You've got Notre Dame and Navy. You've got, I'm not sure how excited all of you are for this coming weekend. Navy at Notre Dame. They're in Dublin this weekend. All right, that's at least you can watch Notre Dame, see if they're legitimate. I guess if you want to do some scouting at 5:30, Jacksonville State host UTEP. Yeah, that's about how I felt about it too. All right. 7 o'clock, UMass and New Mexico State. That's on ESPN. Ohio and San Diego State on 7 o'clock on FS1. 7:30, again, hey, at least a little SEC football. Hawaii at Vanderbilt. None of us have the Pac-12 network, so I don't know if there's much reason in telling you about San Jose State at Southern Cal at 8 o'clock.
What time is the South Carolina State game?
7:30 on ABC.
7:30 on ABC.
So Jason Brown.
I'll be locked in for that one.
Jason Brown. Now I've got another reason to kind of tune in.
There you go.
Jason Brown, who's like 30 now. Okay. All right.
Fifth school.
So, but San Jose State at Southern Cal. And then if you haven't overdosed and just gone too far, FIU, Florida International, and Louisiana Tech, La Tech at 9 o'clock.
Again, as I said yesterday, pace yourself. Don't go too far. Don't go too hard. This is week 0. Get acclimated. Get all the stuff that you need. Get yourself ready for week 1.
JC Shurburtt joining us from thebigspur.com. JC, yes, is it a weekend where you just you try to take in as much college football as you can to get excited, or do you follow the Preston Thorne line of thinking, which is limit yourself here, starting next Thursday is where it picks up?
I was excited last year for week 0 just because it's been weird. Like last year, it seemed like August took forever. This year, I guess it maybe just because like where my life is at right now, it's just kind of like, wow, it's here. Dang. And so I was all into 0 last year. We went and got some steaks, beautiful ribeyes, grilled them, watched all day. And then about like midway through the North Carolina FAMU game, I was like, this is awful football. There's been one good game, and that was freaking Northwestern, who ended up being terrible, beating Nebraska, which, fired their coach. If they're going to have a week 0, man, give us a little more than just the game in Ireland. Now, on a personal level, again, my fiance is a huge Notre Dame fan. So we have to go through normal game day protocol on week 0, which I'm like, I have mixed feelings about it. On one aspect, I'm excited because it's her team. I'll drag her to do the Gamecocks, in another way, I'm like, well, that game's at 10:30 local time in Chicago. I'm going back to Chicago on Wednesday afternoon. What am I going to do for the rest of the day? Because like you guys just went through the schedule, and I'm actually going to tune into New Mexico State and UMass. I'm upset that they don't have the Pac-12 network and I can't see Southern Cal. I do like the fact South Carolina State's playing. So I don't know. I've kind of got a negative feeling about week 0 this year, whereas last year it was overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah. I really am legitimately with you on the Southern Cal thing, and I would much rather see ESPN having them on television or something to check that out and go from there. Just like, it's not that I expect San Jose State to put up this huge fight and me to be fully invested in the fourth quarter, but I would again like to see Caleb Williams there going for a second Heisman. I really would like to see Marshawn Lloyd and what he looks like playing in Lincoln Riley's offense. I would like to see this team that people are talking about. Maybe they can win the Pac-12 and make an entrance into the college football playoff. Won't be doing that this weekend, but let's go to something that occurred this past weekend real quick before we jump into some other topics with you. South Carolina holds their final preseason scrimmage, if you will. We talked yesterday with Brad Crawford about it, some of the details he came out of there with. What did you hear from the scrimmage that you can share that would either give Gamecocks fans hope or maybe something to keep an eye on here as we count down until September 2nd?
Yeah, our guys at the BigSpur.com did a great job. And Brad Crawford, of course, 24/7 Sports, Job Whittle, and Hale McGranahan had some great stuff in the scrimmage. I had, and so did Tony Morrell. I had an extensive piece I just dropped. Here's the things I picked up. The Omega Blake talk that you hear, and he's had like a 75-yard touchdown. You hear things like that, and you think, is it isolated? Is it not? He's been pretty consistently good. So Omega, the light has come on, and he's going to play a lot. So if you're looking for one of the surprises, I guess, of fall camp, I think he would be one. The offensive line looks like it's tracking towards playing starting three transfers, in Jackson Hughes, Sidney Fugar, and Nick Gargiulo up front. I think that's interesting. I do think it's a function of some things like Jalen Nichols being hurt, maybe Tyshawn Wanamaker losing almost too much weight and having to get back to that nice playing weight. But, those guys have earned it. Jackson Hughes kind of sat out the first little bit of camp, recovered from an all-season injury, and then immediately got in and sort of ascended the depth chart. So, and look, it's not set in stone. It could change by, in 11 days. But it was pointed out to me, South Carolina actually has, on the offensive line this year, probably better depth than they did last season. Maybe twice as much because of guys like Tree Babalade and Marquis Anderson in the freshman class that have had excellent preseasons. And then guys returning. You still, I just mentioned those five. Ja'Kai Moore, of course, in there at guard because that's probably his better position, the tackle. He's a capable tackle, but a really good guard. And then you start thinking about you still got Wanamaker and Jones behind them, and then you got Big Tree, and then you got Marquis, and then you got these other guys, Case and Henry. So they're a little deeper. Hopefully they hold up. You can be deep and not very good, but I think that in talking to my contacts after the scrimmage this past weekend, there was some renewed optimism about that unit. So that's good. Spencer Rattler's had an outstanding camp. Lenore Sellers has had an outstanding camp. I think that some of these injuries that people freak out about all the time, I think a lot of it's precautionary because the bottom line is you can't have a lot of injuries at South Carolina expected one. The depth in this program, it's just not there yet. Someday it may be, but heck, we've been through a Holtz era, a Spurrier era, a Brad Scott era, a Muschamp era, interim coaches, and now the Beamer era. And it just, that's probably, if you talk about the difference between a roster at a South Carolina or a roster like a Georgia, it's that depth, and they're trying to build it. So hopefully they do. But you can't, your top 30 can compete. You start losing a lot of guys out of that, it gets dicey. So I think a lot's precautionary because I think Coach Beamer knows that, and everybody knows that it's more important to be healthy during the games than it is to force somebody to practice injured or whatever, or not force somebody to practice, but somebody going out there and making a banged up situation into a extensive missed time injury. So that's that there. I think as far as the scrimmage goes overall, Bill, you always want, I think, I've been doing this a while, you always want the defense to be ahead of the offense in the first one, and then you want the offense to respond in the second one. Some of the better teams Carolina's had have kind of followed that pattern here, and that's exactly what happened with this group. The defense sort of got the best of them first scrimmage, offense, came back. And that's normal in football. The 2 years that they haven't had that were 14 and 20, and those defenses were, pretty bad at the end of the day. And so that would be a concern if offense was just going up and down the field. So I think overall things are looking good. Got to get some of these guys back and ready to roll by kickoff. And I think they will. And I think that Gamecock fans are going to like what they see in Charlotte here next Saturday.
He's J.C. Shurburtt joining us. Come back. We'll get into a little bit. South Carolina picks up a transfer defensive end / edge. We might have to have a vote on this if we're just going to start calling them edges so that I don't have to keep adding the /. But we will get into that with JC. There is Drew Tuazama now joining the Gamecocks. Talk a little defensive end with JC now as to what he sees and what he's hearing. We'll also get into a little bit about the linebackers because, guys, both of you, Pup Howard's been a little injured. Mokaba's still coming back. I think Stone Blanton, while there was a lot of excitement about him last year, maybe that bowl performance scared a few people, and Debo Williams now in his third year in the program. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then coming up later on this hour, JC, we're going to want you to rank the first-year head coaches, or as Preston will tell you, put them on your depth chart.
It's all about depth charts, JC.
Luke Fickell, Hugh Freeze, Matt Rule, Jeff Brom, Scott Satterfield, Zach Arnett. So prepare yourself accordingly, buddy. We got a lot to get to this hour. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen, and it's a Tuesday. That means it's JC Shurburtt here on the early game.
107.5 The Game On Demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
Getting out, purchasing a brand new vehicle, it can be a whole lot of fun, or it needs to be. I mean, honestly, that's the thing about going and buying a car. And the folks that love Chevrolet understand that. They make the car buying experience enjoyable. They want you to be relaxed and to find the best deal possible. That's why they have an incredible sales team ready to help you the second you drive on the lot to the second you leave. That's also why they don't sell above MSRP. They make sure that you're getting the best deal possible, and they also have the largest selection available. 14 acres to choose from. That's why I love Chevrolet has been in business for over 60 years, taking care of families like yours, like mine, right here in the Midlands. So get out and visit them. I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park. Love Chevrolet. Again, they don't sell above MSRP. They have the largest selection of vehicles anywhere, and I'm telling you what, that sales staff, absolutely second to none. That's why I love being a part of the Love family. That's why I love talking about them. That's why I encourage you the next time you're in the market to go visit Love Chevrolet. So get out to Love Chevrolet today and find new roads.
I'm Carl Dukes with the CBS Sports Minute. Jadeveon Clowney, the former number 1 overall pick in 2014, is signed with the Ravens. He brings experience and depth, but he's not a difference maker. A 3-time Pro Bowler with 43 career sacks. 43? Nick Bosa has 43 career sacks, and he's been in the league 4 years. Hey, Ravens, you got a guy, but he's not a difference maker. I'm Carl Dukes.
CBS Sports Radio.
Douglas is a real Prevagen user and paid testimonialist.
My name is Douglas. I'm 79 and I live in Chicago. I'm a writer, director. I used to be a marathon runner. Now I'm a walker. And the kind of work that I do, you are surrounded by people who are all younger than you. Memory became a factor. As everyone gets older, where did I put my keys? But I had to get help to stay competitive. I happened across Prevagen and I started taking it. I saw myself having an improved memory, which at the same time, I felt better about myself. I could not be doing what I'm doing today had it not been for Prevagen.
Prevagen, healthier brain, better life. Prevagen is available in stores everywhere. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who were cognitively normal or mildly impaired.
These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has great prices on everything you need for back to school. Right now, a 24-pack of Crayola crayons and comp books are just 50 cents each, and select notebooks are just 35 cents each. In-store only. Offer ends 8/26, limit 30. School on, save on at Staples.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
America's fastest growing fast casual restaurant, Dave's Hot Chicken, has come to Columbia. 4601 Divine Street, right next to Moe's. Dave's Hot Chicken serves juicy, perfectly fried chicken coated in a secret spice blend that will blow your mind. Don't forget about the sides either. They have perfectly crispy fries, tangy kale slaw, and a signature mac and cheese that will have you coming back for more. Don't miss out on the best hot chicken in South Carolina. Dave's Hot Chicken, 4601 Divine Street.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring correctional officers, nurses, food services, facilities maintenance, mental health professionals, law enforcement officers, teachers, and more statewide. There are sign-on bonuses for officers, food services, nurses, and law enforcement officers. South Carolina Department of Corrections has great employee benefits like 6 weeks of PTO accrued yearly and police officer retirement. Start a rewarding new career today. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
Mix a little sports analysis, pop culture, and great interviews, and you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
Mike Florio, who's coaching for their gigs this year, do you think?
Brandon Staley, the Chargers, has to be. The way that they ended the 2022 season. And I think Robert Kraft put everyone on notice, including Bill Belichick, that it could be over. And Rich, every owner is thinking about the easy part is getting rid of the guy I have. The hard part is finding a guy who's as good or better.
The Rich Eisen Show podcast, wherever you listen.
Sponsored by Molina Healthcare. Feel better with Molina Healthcare.
When it comes to your health, 2 experts are better than 1. That's why Molina Healthcare partners with Sandhills Medical Foundation, so you get the benefits you need to stay healthy and care from providers you trust. Choose Molina. Learn more today at meetmolinasouthcarolina.com.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Gardner's Terrace at Highway 321. We have a report of a tie-up there. Also, Coral Hill Road at Garner's Ferry Road. Long Green Parkway at Spring Park Road, still working that earlier tie-up. It's going to be 100 today before that heat index, of course, and 91 for the high tomorrow, 94 on Thursday. Right now, though, it is 76 at 107.5 The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified, Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence, knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The Early Game with Bill Gunter.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne.
And Jen Jensen on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, the Gamecock Central crew will be taking over the Firehouse Subs location, 7467 St. Andrews Road in Irmo, 9 to 12. You can stop in, say hello, snag a Firehouse Sub, and snag free stuff. That will be tomorrow. Get out for the 107.5 The Game broadcast from 9 to noon, 7467 St. Andrews Road, the Firehouse Subs location there in Irmo. Got a lot going on this week, including Friday. We got our 107.5 The Game Summer Golf Classic, and Preston and I will be there broadcasting from 6 to 9. From 8 to 9, you can stop by and have Putts with Preston.
Who knew?
Putts with Preston for a $5 donation. I haven't read all this to you.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. First, we just want to let you know what you're going to be doing on Friday. So listen carefully.
From 8 to 9, there will be if you make a $5 donation to Camp Cole, if you out putt Preston, you'll get tickets to the South Carolina Jacksonville State game. It's in my liner. It says it right here. I know you haven't been told yet, but it's right here in the liner.
This is what we know. We know this is a great cause to donate to. I also believe that you will probably have a high chance of getting tickets because there's a great chance you will output.
There you go. Stop by and say hello to Preston and myself. You don't have to play in the golf tournament. You can just come out and hang out 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. out at the Charwood Golf Club. And from 8 to 9, we will have Putts with Preston $5 donation. If you can out-putt Preston, you'll get tickets to the Carolina-Jacksonville State game.
Oh, you can.
803-404-6100, how you can weigh in. JC Shurburtt joining us as he does every Tuesday from thebigspur.com and from Carolina Rise. And JC, South Carolina over the weekend, picks up another transfer portal player. Gamecock's trying to add a little depth here out at the transfer at the edge position. Drew Tuazama will now enroll 6'5", 275 pounds. What do we expect from Preston? I had this discussion yesterday. The fact that he's enrolling now and has about 9 days, I guess, now to get himself ready. What do we expect from him?
Well, I think North Carolina is one subject matter here, and then after that's the other. Is he going to be ready to roll for the opener? I mean, bottom line is this is his fourth school. He's a fourth-year guy. He's played a lot of football. He's an older player, so sometimes those guys adapt pretty easily. I mean, in the NFL, you get traded and you're expected to play that weekend. Now, the NFL also has 12 hours worth of practice time allotted every day and stuff. So it's you have more time. This guy just moved here. He's got to get his apartment straight. He's got to get classes down, all that good stuff. So, the time element there could I think maybe his snaps won't be as many, but I think starting with Furman, they're going to work him in. He's not just a depth piece that you add and say, oh, go give us 4 or 5 snaps. There's guys on the roster that can do that already. This guy's a guy that can, I don't know about start, but they roll their defensive linemen so much. He's probably a guy that can get in there and wreak some havoc. He's really good and a player that the NFL's had their eyes on for a while. He's a North Carolina kid originally from Raleigh, D-line heaven. Just a great find, I think. There were rumors out there he was getting in the portal for a while, but of course you can't contact guys and stuff until they actually do it. So, there was a delay and there was a time period where it didn't look like it was going to happen just because of the time constraint and all that. But it happened. Credit the Gamecocks for recruiting right up to the end to improve their roster. And I don't think you've heard his name. I don't think this is a kid we're sitting there talking about now that we won't talk about again, Bill. I think this is a guy you wait. I mean, it may take 3 or 4 games, but this kid could be really, really good for the Gamecocks this year.
JC, you don't have.
I think he's better than Jordan Burks. I'll tell you that right now. I'll go ahead.
Mark it down. Mark it down. All right.
Well, I mean, look. But the bottom line is Jordan Burks has 5 stars by his name, but he didn't play. I mean, he was very average as a SEC defensive lineman, I thought.
So, not specifically speaking about this particular person's situation, but what are the situations as to why this would be happening so late in the process?
Well, when you transfer, he's transferred quite a bit, but when you transfer as much as he has, you have to be a graduate transfer to be eligible. And so, that means you have to get your degree. And he had to take some summer classes, is my understanding, to actually graduate from UAB to be eligible. And sometimes that's a process, man. I know I waited around and took geology until my last semester. I wasn't a science guy. And boy, I sweated it. I'll be honest. And I should have taken it early, just to give myself some time. But, these things happen in the world of academics and things like that. So that was what the holdup was. And then there's a time period, after you graduate where, you got to do some due diligence and stuff because you can't really do all that per the rules until they actually get in the portal. So, it's one of those things that it came together quickly in terms of after he got his degree, but it was a long process, is my understanding, for him to kind of get his degree, get in the portal, all that good stuff. But he got it, and he breezed through admissions at South Carolina. And my understanding is he's going to be, I think there's an acclimation period. So he's got to be in shells for the next day or two, and then he'll be full go with pads, full contact. So look out for him. If not for North Carolina down the road, I think he's a talented guy.
You look at this depth right now, and I'm guessing we're looking at Tonka Hemingway playing more on the outside. Is that kind of what you're hearing? That at least against North Carolina, it looks like Hemingway will be more on the outside with Birch, or do you have Elijah Davis more on the outside? Where, because right now you've got a lot of these bodies. Strawn, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Strawn is up to 255. Desmond Umizulu is still more of your typical lanky basketball body type edge rusher, but a lot of these guys are more in the mix of 255 to 275. So who do you think the starting four is, or how do you see that line looking like against North Carolina in a week and a half?
I'm going to call this an intelligent or an informed guess.
Okay.
How about that?
I like that. Yeah.
I think against UNC for a couple of reasons. I think you'll probably, now don't shoot me if I'm wrong. This is, like I said, the word guess is still a part of what
we don't do that, but we do have a wheel of misfortune that can be brought out very quickly.
Okay, yeah, I'll be on the wheel of misfortune if I'm wrong. Spin that puppy. I think that right now, if I had to guess on starting D line, I'd go. End would be Tonka, D tackle T.J. Sanders, or maybe Elijah Davis. I think they like that. T.J. Sanders has been steadily getting better and better. He's got a lot of upside. Then Boogie, and then Strawn. Maybe JT Jeer out there, possibly in time. Drew Tuazama in time, and they can slide Tonka back in. But when you heard Travian Robertson talk, kind of compare Tonka to Melvin Ingram, that's Melvin lined up at the end most of the time, and they'd slide him inside, do different things with him. And I think that's what they're going to do with Tonka and Elijah Davis both. So that's kind of some old school Gamecock defensive line process there that I think you can expect. But right now, if I had to say, I'd say probably Tonka probably be the end. But who knows? It could be that Jordan Strong's on one end and Brian Thomas Jr. is on the other, and Tonka and Boogie are inside. But right now, I think as an informed guess, right, I think that's what the lineup would be. But is Tonka Hemingway going to play more DN? Yeah, more DN than last year, Bill. But I still think he's probably in the NFL either like a 3-4 DN in that kind of lineup, or he will be a tackle. I think that's probably long term what you're looking at with him.
803-404-6100. If you want to weigh in, Firehouse Subs text line. We'll continue along. Maybe get into a little national look at some of the first-year head coaches with JC, and Preston will offer a depth chart on what he's got. We'll see if JC agrees. You're listening to Bill Gunner, Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen, and it's Tuesday. It's JC Shurburtt of the Big Spur on the early game.
Here's what's coming up on the game.
The halftime show is broadcasting live from the Tile Shop in Harbison, right next to Total Wine and More. Come see the 75 full displays. The Tile Shop does total designs. Tomorrow from noon to 3.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Football. It is here. It is time for you to have the house ready. If you're not going to the game, you want to have a watch party. If you want to have a watch party, you want to have a clean home. You want to have a clean home? Call Zero Rest. Trust me, it's the easiest way to do it. You will not regret that decision. With their patented ZR water technology, scientifically proven to keep the carpets, the rugs, the tile, the upholstery, to keep everything looking insanely clean, Zero Res is your MVP. Contact them today, 803-262-4020, or schedule online, ZeroResColumbia.com. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. You don't want to miss out on that deal. Take advantage of it. Have the house looking great and be ready for the big game this weekend. Call Zero Res, 803-262-4020, or again, schedule online, ZeroResColumbia.com. That's how you can get in touch with them. All you got to do is mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $129. So whether it's a phone call, 803-262-4020, or scheduling online, ZeroResColumbia.com. Zero S, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
Lexington Medical Heart and Vascular Center has once again earned the nation's highest ratings for 3 types of heart surgery, and they're the only hospital in South Carolina to do it. These elite 3-star ratings mean the best heart care in the nation is available to you right here at home.
Hello and welcome to the Kroger Show. At Kroger, everyone wins when it comes to saving big. Because when you order online through the Kroger app, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery that you do in-store with no hidden fees or markups. So no matter how you shop, you'll always save big at Kroger. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save $1 each when you buy 5 or more participating items. Pepperidge Farm Goldfish crackers are $1.49 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hi, my husband and I own a small business in Columbia, and we ended up needing some help with some tax problems that we had and needed to get resolved. We initially owed about $300,000, and John Ecton and his law firm ended up getting us an offer in compromise, which dramatically reduced the amount owed. I would personally recommend the Ecton Law Firm. They did an excellent job for us, and if this is a concern that you're facing, they're definitely the people you should call.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, South Carolina. Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers with some sizzling summer savings to put a little bling in your step. How about a 2-carat total weight diamond stud earring for just $1,799, or a gorgeous 2-carat solitaire, just $2,999. And if you want to go big, how about a 3-carat solitaire for just $4,999? We have more diamonds and more diamond jewelry at each of our locations than you typically see at 3 jewelry stores. And we have more lab-grown diamonds than you'll typically see in 5 jewelry stores. So why waste your valuable time driving around town when you can visit one of our stores, see our incredible selection, and get a better diamond at a better price? Plus, we can help you design the ring of your dreams and custom make it for you. So come see us at Traditions, because whether you want a $99 gift or a 10-carat diamond, we've got you covered. Only at Traditions Fine Jewelers on Sunset Boulevard in Lexington and at the Fountain at Sandhills, where the Midlands get engaged.
You've been hearing about the Wetzel's Automotive difference. No matter the job, they are your one-stop shop. Here's Rob Wetzel.
We do it from start to finish. We are your one-stop shop. The brakes, the oil changes, the alignments, the tires. We can handle all that minor stuff and go all the way into your most sophisticated diagnostics. We can do it.
Wetzel's Automotive.
We are located at 2017 Augusta Road in West Columbia. You can call us at 803-739-2999, and you can reach us on the web at wetzelsauto.com.
Hey, this is Tasha from the Gutterman. Storm season is here. Make sure your biggest investment is protected. Call the guys in the powder blue truck, the Guttermen. We have been providing top-notch service throughout the Midlands for over 40 years. Call us today at 803-791-7147. Again, that's 803-791-7147.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the Gutterman.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Hey everyone, a good Tuesday morning to you. It's time for a First Alert Traffic Check. For the early morning hours today, we're continuing to see things nice and calm out there. Easy does it and smooth traffic flows. No major backups or confirmed collisions around the region. But, of course, if anything major changes, we'll be sure to let you know as the morning continues on. As of right now, just enjoy some of that sun and make sure to keep it cool later. This has been a WIS First Alert Traffic Check. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli. Make it a safe travel day.
And we do have a report of an accident, Gardner's Terrace Road at Highway 321, also Horrell Hill Road at Gardner's Ferry Road, and Long Green Parkway at Spring Park Drive. Still working that earlier tie-up.
What you're talking about.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. 107.5 The Game.
The Carolina Honda Powerhouse Football Ticket giveaway is back for Gamecock football games, sponsored by Carolina Honda Powerhouse, your source for Honda ATVs, motorcycles, scooters, and side-by-sides. You can visit them at exit 70 off of I-20 or visit carolinahonda.com. Tuesday morning episode, 736, JC Shurburtt of thebigspur.com. Joining Preston and myself is the football talk is in full go mode right now, and we've been talking a little bit about South Carolina, the defensive line, the defensive end position, as they've picked up the transfer Drew Tumazama out of Alabama, Birmingham. But let's take a look now, guys, around college football. We did this with Jamie Bradford yesterday, JC, and at least what I've got written down, I could be missing one or two here. That I think Kenny Dillingham out at Arizona State, I did not incorporate into this list. Preston just shakes his head.
No need.
All right, Preston, JC, we'll catch. I've got 6 first year head coaches. Obviously, Luke Fickell, Hugh Freeze, Matt Rule, Jeff Brom, Scott Satterfield. They've all been head coaches somewhere for a while, actually. But you've got those 5 plus Zach Arnett at Mississippi State. Now, Zach Arnett takes over a nice little program there on the unfortunate passing of Mike Leach. Preston, give us your depth chart here. Your top coach in the first year, and who you think will do the best is what I want. Who you think will do the best in year 1 down through number 6.
All right, let's start. Let's reverse it.
You're going to go 6 to 1.
Let's go 6 to 1.
Who's going to have the most losses or look the worst this year?
Matt Rule.
Really?
Matt Rule.
JC, you going with that? Matt Rule at number 6?
Zach Arnett. Well, yeah. No, I'm going to stick to my guns and agree with Preston because Matt Rule does not have a very good offensive coordinator. And look, Matt Rule is a wizard at turning programs around, but it's never instantaneous. Like when he was at Temple, I think first year he hung a 3-9 up there, and then he turned it around. At Baylor, the first year I think he was 2-10, and then he turned it around. So it's not an instantaneous thing with him. It's more of a slow build. So first year, especially when they're trying to learn that offense and all that. I don't know why you'd run that. I mean, anyway. I don't want to get into all that right now, but yeah, I think first year they'll struggle, but don't think that Matt Rule won't eventually get there at Nebraska because I kind of feel like he will, but I'm with Preston first year now.
Number 5,
Zach Arnett.
And
through no fault of his own. I don't even really know very much about Zach. Taking in for obviously a tough situation down there, but Coach Leach had such a unique program down there, and I think it's just going to be interesting to trying to figure out how do you put these pieces together in a new system. So just on transition alone, not through any fault of his own, but I'll put Zach there.
Sticking with that one, JC, you like Arnett at 5?
Yeah, I mean, I like the plan. I mean, because look, the bottom line with the Leach tenure at Mississippi State is they were really, really good on defense, and the offense kind of left them out to dry sometimes, but, and I think running the App State system probably makes a lot of sense for them. I don't know about their quarterback who's a tailor-made quarterback for Leach's system, but they did get Vanderbilt transfer Mike Wright in there, who is more of an App State style guy. So we'll see what happens, but I don't. There's a lot of Mississippi State fans that think, "Oh, well, Arnett was the guy that was, winning games anyway." But I think that you're right. I think that there's just such a transition that has to take place there, and it's the SEC, and that can be very unforgiving.
Number 4.
Let me give you my messy middle, and these can be interchangeable. Okay. We're gonna go with Jeff Brom.
Okay.
And Hugh Freeze.
Oh, all right. So Brom and Freeze. I'm going to go Brom 4 on that. Freeze 3.
Yes.
All right. So that leaves us 2 and 1. JC, I was surprised he threw Hugh Freeze in at 3. I'm a little surprised he threw Jeff Brom in at 4. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, now you got me questioning myself. Does Brom not have Malik Cunningham back this year? JC, am I right on that?
Yeah, I think and he's bringing his system in for Purdue, which is pretty nice. And then Kenny Dillingham, and who else is the other one?
No, the last I actually left out Travis on our live stream. Also points out Jamie Chadwell at Liberty. I did not have him, so he's gone Brom and Freeze. That's going to leave us with Scott Satterfield making the move over from Louisville, going to Cincinnati, who's entering the Big 12, and then that'll leave Luke Fickell at as the last guy. So, but where? Give me real quick your take on.
I'm gonna go in the opposite. I'm putting Satterfield and Fickell in the messy middle.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going the opposite of Preston here, because I just Cincinnati with a new coach and a new system. As much as I think Scott Satterfield kind of got a raw deal at Louisville, and he is a good coach, that's tough to go into a new league, new coach, all that. And then Luke Fickell, I think he's going to be good at Wisconsin in time, but again, that is a massive departure what they're doing on offense up there from what has made Wisconsin an overachiever all these years. And I think when programs get away from their DNA, it gets dicey. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it definitely blows up in your face. And as much as I think Luke Fickell's a really good coach and all that, year one, I'm not sure what happens up there in Madison.
I did get help here. Neil weighs in on our Firehouse Subs text line. Malik Cunningham is with the Patriots now. So no Malik Cunningham. And I do think that changes things for Jeff Brom a little bit there. As
he's got his guy, though. He got a guy in from somewhere that was at Purdue, then left Purdue, and he's got a quarterback.
Okay, it's telling me Jack Plummer. Yeah, I've not done my complete research on Louisville, but Jeff Brom going home because it's his alma mater. I found that one funny. So you've got Satterfield and Luke Fickell. Preston has gone Brom and Freeze, Hugh Freeze at 3. Preston 2 and 1.
We're gonna go straight to 1.
Okay, sure, why not?
Let's go. We're gonna go straight to 1, and we're gonna go with Luke Fickell. And everything that JC said makes 100% perfect sense. I think I just believe in Luke Fickell as a coach, and I feel like he's gonna figure out a way to get something done up there in Wisconsin.
In year one.
I do.
To Preston's point, even though I didn't have Fickell up there, a winner is a winner, and that guy's won. He's done a great coaching job. Even when he was the interim at Ohio State, I only think they went 7-6, but I mean, he held that ship together, and then Urban kept him or whatever. I mean, so yeah, I don't think you're off base on that at all.
So you've got that. So that leaves you like Scott Satterfield at 2, then making the move over to Cincinnati.
I just think Cincinnati's always really interesting. I think they're always really interesting, and they seem to be an incubator for coaches that can either, especially if it's coaches that are on the ascent, I should say, I think they can do a good job there. You can sort of hide and scrape the barrel and get some players that maybe be overlooked by other programs, and you can do a pretty good job there.
JC, where are you going? 2 and 1.
Gosh. Okay. So yeah, I'm going Hugh Freeze 2 and Jeff Brom 1.
Why Jeff Brom at 1?
Because he's in the ACC.
Tear down the whole conference. Just rip down the whole conference.
And look, outside of Clemson and Florida State, there's nobody with a great situation in that league. He's a guy that when he got to Purdue, I mean, Purdue probably has a fraction of the talent and athleticism Louisville does. To Louisville's credit, they didn't really like Satterfield. Jeff Brom is their hero. The native son coming home. Now, it didn't work at Nebraska for Scott Frost, and everybody thought it would. But I think this is a situation like Spurrier going back to Florida. I mean, I think Jeff Brom is that good of a coach when he's got talent. And I think they're going to get back to being fun Louisville. Not that they were boring under Satterfield, but this is going to be they're going to be back. And I think that when you just look at his impact on the programs he's been in so far during his career, almost instantaneously, that they start playing better and, with more confidence and things like that. And Louisville's not that far away. So as a function of schedule, Jeff Brom would be number 1 over Hugh Freeze. I think Hugh's going to get Auburn a lot better, but it's the SEC West. And so, you're going to take some hits there.
One thing real quick on this, if you look at Wisconsin's schedule for this year, now they're coming off of a 7-6 year, so it's not like this is a team that's been doing a lot of things. And technically, they lost their starting quarterback, Graham Mertz, transferring to Florida. But if you look at Luke Fickell's schedule, if you believe in him as a coach, the opener for this is Buffalo. They do go on the road at Washington, to Pullman, Washington State, Georgia Southern, and then at Purdue and Rutgers. Those are their first 5 games before before hosting Iowa, who is currently ranked 25th. Not unheard of for Wisconsin to be 5-0 going into that Iowa game and potentially being ranked. And we'll see after that, Brett Bielema, Illinois, and then they get Ohio State. But it'll be kind of interesting. 803-404-6100 if you want to weigh in on that.
Bill, give us your bottom, give us your top real quick.
To me, I think the transition to Zach Arnett is too tough. I think I've got Arnett at 6. I think the transition is just a little bit too tough for him. I think much in that same way, I've got Jeff Brom at 5. I was right. Then y'all confused me, and I thought Cunningham might still be there. But I think the transition for Jeff Brom for this year is too tough. I got Brom at 5. Then to me personally, I've got Hugh Freeze at 4. It's the SEC. I'm not sure I'm sold on Peyton Thorne. We'll kind of see there. I do think Luke Fickell left behind some nice pieces at Cincinnati. I've got Satterfield at 2. I think Matt Rule is going to surprise people in the Big Ten. I think Matt Rule, I'm with JC. I don't think Scott Satterfield recruited that poorly. Marcus Satterfield, I know everybody around here is not a huge fan. I like Matt Rule. I think Matt Rule does some good things there. They might get clobbered a couple times, but I think he kind of holds it together. And then I've got, because of what I just said, I've got Luke Fickell 1, but I'm obviously much, given y'all had him at 6, much higher on Matt Rule. We'll finish that conversation when we come back. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got a take?
Hit us up on the Firehouse Subs text line.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
803-404-6100.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Summer is definitely here. It is in full steam ahead mode here in Columbia. Expected to be 100 degrees today. And I'll tell you what, if you haven't been in touch with AAA Heating and Air to get a new heating and air unit or to make sure that yours is being maintained properly, I don't know what you're doing. Call AAA Heating and Air today, 803-677-1500. AAA Heating and Air came out to my house back in February, installed a brand new heating and air unit. And you know what? I couldn't be more thrilled each and every day with the work they did and how it's kept my home nice and comfortable. That's the key word, comfortable. Kids are okay. I'm fine. It has been fantastic because that new heating and air unit, not only has it saved me money on my electric bill, and I'm sure a lot of electric bills are up a little bit right now, but it has kept the house nice and cool. Call AAA Heating and Air today. Find out about the Inflation Reduction Act. You can save $3,800 right now on tax credits. Call a Comfort Advisor for more information. 803-677-1500. Again, that's 803-677-1500. That's how you can get in touch with them. AAA Heating and Air also offer you a $1,500 rebate to buy back your old unit. They have a 15-year parts and labor warranty, and they guarantee financing. 803-677-1500. Contact AAA Heating and Air today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
Sponsored by Take 5 Oil Change. At Take 5, they're faster than you think. They'll change your oil and have you back to working on your farmer's tan faster than you can choose the right SPF. Stop by one of their locations for a full synthetic oil change to help your car beat the heat. Take 5, the stay-in-your-car 10-minute oil change.
Achieve an insanely clean home with Zerorez Carpet Cleaning. Call now and mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129 or schedule online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
Life matters. A lot of folks sound concerned about the shape of this world, but when you really listen to them speak, you find out it's all about them. For instance, Alan Whitney Brown of Saturday Night Live fame once lamented the loss of our non-renewable resources. He said, "How can any child resist the tooth fairy? That single shining example of selfless generosity in this slimy veil of greed. When I was broke, I pulled out my brother's teeth. Naturally, it was too good to last. Just one more non-renewable resource on a diminishing planet." Then there are those who really do care about this planet and those of us who inhabit Earth. An example? Consider this classic statement known as John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him would not perish, but have everlasting life." This is Pastor Stephen Chitty Remember, life matters, and so do you. Go to clcolumbia.com for in-person and live streaming service times.
Introducing Herndon Certified. Herndon Certified used vehicles are quality assured and come with our 60-day warranty, complete with nationwide coverage. Don't just buy a used car. Buy a Herndon Certified used car and drive with confidence, knowing Herndon's got you covered. Find your perfect pre-owned in-store or online at herndonchevy.com.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile, smile.
Pedale Wine Pool and Spa is your one-stop shop for all things swimming pools and hot tubs. New construction of vinyl, fiberglass, or gunite swimming pools, as well as liner replacements, weekly maintenance, repairs to existing equipment, or upgrades. Come see us at 5541 Sunset Boulevard to check out our full line of spas and where we offer free water samples and all the chemicals you need to keep your pool and spa clear and clean. Pedale Wine Pool and Spa. You'll find us on Facebook or online at PedaleWinePools.com.
You need a job, but you want a career that lasts a lifetime. The Charleston County Sheriff's Office has that career, so come and get it. With a high school diploma, you can become a detention deputy and jumpstart your career in law enforcement. You'll get benefits and pay raises. You can climb the ranks at our full-service agency. Visit ccsojobs.com or text 888-210-9756 to apply. Visit ccsojobs.com or text 888-210-9756 to apply. Come join us in service beyond the call.
Sponsored by Molina Healthcare. Feel better with Molina Healthcare.
With Molina Healthcare, you get a health plan with lots of great benefits, including a large network of quality providers. And that makes it easier to find the right doctor for you. For the care you need, close to home, choose Molina. Learn more now at meetmolinasouthcarolina.com.
1075 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 1075 The Game.
Gardner's Terrace Road at Highway 321, still an accident there, as well as Horrell Hill Road at Garner's Ferry Road. Long Green Parkway at Spring Park Drive in the cleanup stages this morning. Looking for a high today of 100. Of course, that is before the heat index. 91 for the high tomorrow, 94 on Thursday, 77 right now at 107.5 The Game.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
Oh, you work so hard to prepare for a show and get everybody. And I left Charlie points out, what is the list? First year guys. And I left off maybe the most prominent first year guy, although he probably would be at the bottom of our list. Prime time. Deontay, he is a first year. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie, for listening. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Where would you guys, real quick, where do you throw Sanders in this list?
I think they're going to be better. I'd put him ahead of Matt Rule. I think that by comparison, Colorado will have a better year, just in terms of where they were versus where they'll be going than Nebraska.
We'll find out. They play each other in week 2.
Week 2, big matchup
in Boulder. Matt Rule.
I mean, look, people don't understand how good. What a great hire Deion made at offensive coordinator. He got the head coach from Kent State, Sean Lewis, who, I mean, if you watch Kent play Georgia last year, you know that guy's going to do some things. So
I'll just tell you guys, Matt Rule, I don't think they beat PJ Fleck in Minnesota in the opener. They got to go to Minnesota, but then it's at Colorado, Northern Illinois, and Louisiana Tech before taking one on the chin to Michigan. Illinois, I'll be honest, I haven't studied Brett Bielema's program. I haven't made it around to my Illinois paying attention. But then they should beat Northwestern. It's not by the middle of Nebraska. It's not unbelievable that by the middle of October that Nebraska is bowl eligible. with wins with being 6-1. I don't think they can beat Minnesota, but they could be 5-2. And then the back half gets a little more difficult. Purdue at Michigan State, Maryland at Wisconsin and Iowa. You look at these coaches here. Maybe Luke Fickell gets to 8 wins. Satterfield, maybe. I got to go back and look at what Cincinnati's got. Hugh Freeze, I think it's going to be difficult for. Jeff Brom, Zach Arnett. That's what I'm saying. 5 wins, maybe 6. It wouldn't surprise me if you see Nebraska bowling. I know it's crazy. And Prime, that's a good question. We might just get into that a little bit because I forgot about. Thank you, Charlie, for that. For all the research I did and throwing in other names.
I didn't see it either.
Totally forgot about it. JC, we always appreciate it. Next week, we'll actually be talking South Carolina, North Carolina, breaking down a game that'll be just days away.
Game week next week, fellas. I appreciate you guys having me on, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Sounds good.
Yes,
JC Shurburtt, thebigspur.com, also Carolina Rise. You can check all that out. Go to thebigspur.com. They have done a great job of covering that scrimmage from this past weekend. We'll get more into that a little bit. Back into the Jim Harbaugh situation. Woo! What a suspension. East Carolina right now is just rubbing their hands together going, oh, we got Michigan right where we want them. UNLV's thinking about the upset. Bowling Green's just, I don't know what they're doing. We'll try and figure it out. Hour 3 on the way.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Josh Simon, your South Carolina Gamecocks tight end. You are now listening to 107.5 The Game.
A Cumulus media station.
There's no better place to be on a fall Saturday than at Williams-Brice Stadium. Secure your tickets today to catch a game this fall. Visit thegamecockclub.com for more information. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game.
At the Samuels Reynolds Law Firm, we know how serious injuries change people's lives. I'm Jason Reynolds. When you're involved in a major car or truck accident, my team is on your side. You don't have to be alone. Let's do this together.
And I'm Stephen Samuels. When you're hurt at work, my team is with you from start to finish. We're people with a passion for helping injured workers. Bring your case to us and stop the worrying. We've got this.
Samuels Reynolds. True injuries, true lawyers. 803-779-4000.
Hey, South Carolina. Scott here from Traditions Fine Jewelers with some sizzling summer savings to put a little bling in your step. How about a 2-carat total weight diamond stud earring for just $1,799? Or a gorgeous 2-carat solitaire, just $2,999. And if you want to go big, how about a 3-carat solitaire for just $4,999? We have more diamonds and more diamond jewelry at each of our locations than you typically see at 3 jewelry stores. And we have more lab-grown diamonds than you'll typically see in 5 jewelry stores. So why waste your valuable time driving around town when you can visit one of our stores, see our incredible selection, and get a better diamond at a better price? Plus, we can help you design the ring of your dreams and custom make it for you. So come see us at Traditions, because whether you want a $99 gift or a 10-carat diamond, we've got you covered. Only at Traditions Fine Jewelers on Sunset Boulevard in Lexington and at the Fountain at Sandhills, where the Midlands get engaged.
Hi, my name is John, and I'm self-employed, and we got sidetracked on our taxes at the 2008 recession, and it became a monster that we couldn't tackle ourselves. We heard about the Ecton Law Firm on the radio and contacted John. If you could classify someone as a miracle worker, I would put him at the top of the list, because he took our problem and resolved it for us with our not only our unpaid taxes, but our unfiled tax returns from previous years. And I would highly recommend the Ecton Law Firm.
It's great to know we have changed people's lives for the better. Hi, this is local attorney John Ecton with the Ecton Law Firm. For over a decade, our office has been dedicated to helping hardworking individuals and businesses solve tax problems for good. So if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are facing IRS wage levies, bank levies, or tax liens, call our office today at 771-9800 or go to EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com. Let's get your tax problem solved for good. Call today. You'll be glad you did.
Happy 62nd birthday, Granddad.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I got you this.
A mug. Oh, thank you. What does it say? Beware, if you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of hospitalization from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
It's the Love Chevrolet Countdown to Gamecock Football.
11 days till kickoff.
Winner of Chevrolet's Mark of Excellence Award for Best in-Class Customer Experience. Maybe that's what Love customers love so much about Love Chevy.
I-26 in Harbison and at lovechevy.com.
Find new roads.
The Amazon's rainforest is being cut down so fast that by 2030, 55% of it could be completely wiped out. The Earth's forests can't speak up when they need help, but we can. Be the voice for those who have no voice. Visit worldwildlife.org.
What you're talking about.
On 107.5 The Game.
Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. There are lots of places to buy your next ride, but there is no place like Love Chevy, where you never pay more than MSRP, ever. Come by and feel the difference of love. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Find new roads. The early game.
Bill Gunter.
6:52 on a Saturday.
So, hey, real quick, while Bill's looking at the calendar, did you see that Aaliyah Boston was named WNBA Eastern Conference Player of the Week?
I did not.
Former Gamecock Preston Thorne, Jen Jensen.
Kind of
Of
impressive.
course, right now I couldn't tell you what day it is with a calendar in front of me. I've said Tuesday. I just said Saturday.
On your home of the Gamecocks.
The theme of this show. I don't know.
107.5 The Game.
Final hour of the Tuesday episode as we count down to being out at Charwood Golf Club coming up on Friday. Preston and I being out there 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for the 107.5 The Game Summer Golf Classic. It's going to be a lot of fun. The field is full, Preston. The field is officially full, according to Rock Lucas. We're going to have a great time. We'll have lunch provided by Firehouse Subs. If a golfer hits a hole-in-one on the third hole, 1, 2, 3. It's an uphill par 3. It's an uphill par 3. If you hit a hole, it's hard. It's not easy. If a golfer hits a hole-in-one on the third hole, they will win a car from Love Chevrolet.
Good luck.
How about that?
You have better luck at putts with Preston.
Yeah. If you hit a hole-in-one on 15, now 15 is also not very easy either. It's kind of a blind shot, not really uphill, but kind of it's difficult. It's hard. But if you hit it's easier, I think, than number 3. If you hit a hole-in-one on number 15, you can win $10,000 from Cato's Lawn and Landscape. And of course, we'll be announcing the winner of our Ultimate Gamecock season ticket contest after the round is over. But yeah, we've got some prizes for you. We're really upgrading this thing. And on top of everything, the hole-in-one on number 3 for a car, a hole-in-one for $10,000 on number 15. If you come out from 8 to 9, if you just come out from 8 to 9, you can participate in Putts with Preston for a $5 donation to Camp Cole. If you out-putt Preston, you'll get tickets to the Carolina-Jacksonville State game.
I'm ready. I'm working. I was working on my right-handed putt in the studio earlier, but I'm going to.
Does management here know you could end up costing management a whole lot of money?
I'm not sure. I don't know if they had my handicap when they did that.
I don't know how many tickets. Let me just tell you this. If you want to participate and you want tickets, you want to get there early to sign up and be in line, because at some point that may come to a screeching halt once we've given away.
What you mean is you want to get there early before I get warmed up.
Yes.
That's what you mean, right?
Yes, before exactly. Mm-hmm. So from 8 to 9, we'll have Putts with Preston out at Charwood Golf Club. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hope everybody comes out and joins us. Certainly, we will talk a lot of football and cut up and have a good time. We'll be out there from 6 to 9. Come by, hang out, have some coffee, relax. If you want to hit a couple golf balls, even if you're not in the tournament, come by and hang out. Rock and Daniel Lucas do a phenomenal job out there at Charwood, and look forward to hanging out with them and in seeing all the great listeners and people that are planning to play in the tournament this coming this coming Friday. 803-404-6100. We'll get back into the transfer portal this hour. Preston has got an update on where former Gamecocks stand. You get to see one of them if you have the Pac-12. Does anybody have what does the Pac-12 network own? Do we know? Does anybody know? They'd have been better off just going with the Apple Television deal because at least I could tell you where that's at.
Yeah, I remember it was the Apple Television. It was the CW at one point. It was, I don't know.
But you can check out Marshawn Lloyd this weekend if you somehow can find a way to acquire the Pac-12 network. But we'll let Preston break down Jordan Birch, where he's at on the depth chart, Gilbert Edmond. You even had a breakdown of this one caught me off guard, and I'll tease it. Former Gamecock quarterback Jason Brown and where he is at. I just want to go back to our live stream real quick because in the previous hour, we were ranking these coaches as to how we think they'll do. Troy weighs in and says Colorado winning 2 games would be an improvement. Chuck follows it up right after on the live stream and says, I think Colorado will surprise some people this year.
See, and that's the magic of primetime because objectively, Colorado is terrible. But somewhere along the line, it's the cowboy hat and the fake teeth and everything. And it's like, maybe.
More likely, both are slim, less than 10%. Okay. So again, I'm throwing out 2 long shots. More likely to happen. Colorado wins 9 games because Colorado wins 9 games, or they're so bad, Deion Sanders quits mid-November. Just says, you know what? Hey, Jackson State, my job's still, I'll come back. I'll pay my way.
Deion's not above throwing in the towel. Let's just put it like that. let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
Deion is not above saying that he has other things that he's interested in or something.
A high school job came open back in Texas.
Has called him to another place. Deion's not above any of that.
This is going to be an experiment that'll get going on September 2nd with TCU and should be a lot of fun to watch. So we were doing that, but a couple people weighing in this morning on Coach Prime and Colorado and how they'll be this year. Day weighs in and just says, I'm pulling for TCU to beat Colorado 66-3 and then for Colorado to beat Nebraska 63-6.
I like the chaos. I could see how that could work. It's gonna be interesting for sure.
The other story, the big college football story from yesterday, Michigan self-imposes a 3-game ban on Jim Harbaugh. Here's Adam Rittenberg from ESPN detailing the Harbaugh suspension.
During Jim Harbaugh's suspension continues and will continue, Victoria. What changed is a very distinct nuance of this case in that Michigan took a look at the facts and decided they were going to suspend Jim Harbaugh 3 games. And before, it would have been a negotiated resolution with the NCAA's Committee on Infractions. Is that enough jargon for you? But Michigan taking a look at this case, taking a look at the facts of the case and saying, we think the bare minimum punishment Jim Harbaugh is going to get is 3 games. So we are going to hold him out for our 3 early season cupcake games where Michigan will be favored by 21 plus points in all 3 of those games. We think this can help curry some favor, a source told me using that phrase, with the NCAA and maybe help mitigate some of the punishment down the road. So this is the latest step in this ongoing saga that is in sight.
That's from ESPN yesterday. I can only read what's on the cut list. I've got somebody, Joel, texting, that was definitely Pete Thamel, not Adam Rittenberg. I'm reading what's on my sheet here in front of me. We don't have video of what's playing. I can only read what is right here in front of me.
Pete Thamel with the voice recognition.
Yeah, good job, Joel. It's a lot of ESPN. He's like me now. I will admit at this time of year, I come home and watch college football live every day to kind of see what's just some of the things that they're discussing. But I got to admit, I have no clue what Pete Thamel really sounds like, even though I probably do listen to him each and every day. A couple more people weighing in on Colorado. Troy says a lot of eyes on Colorado for sure. Robert weighs in and says, do people think Colorado is going to surprise people by winning more than 4 games, which would surprise me, or do they really think they will win 9 games, which is ridiculously stupid?
No, nobody thinks that Colorado is going to be good, but Deion has a cowboy hat. And because he has a cowboy hat, I don't know what could happen. I think that's what everybody's banking on. Like, I don't know. Maybe.
Chuck said, Prime recruited pretty well. I mean, transfer portal, but he did. He took one kid. He took the junior college offensive lineman away from South Carolina. We'll kind of continue to see how that works for him. But they are I don't know whether you like them or you hate them.
I haven't figured out whether I want this to work or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know whether I want this to work or not. I'm not sure.
Travis weighs in on our live stream. If Prime wins 6 games, he is your national coach of the year.
I can vouch for that. I can go with that.
Yeah. 803-404-6100. Let's get out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Forrest wants to weigh in on Colorado as well as the depth chart. Forrest, where do you stand with Deion Sanders in Colorado?
See, I was going to give you what's more believable. Colorado gets bowl eligible or Alabama loses 4 to 3 games. Because both could happen. Because I don't think Alabama's that. I mean, they could lose Texas, they could lose A&M, they could lose Ole Miss, and then
LSU, yeah.
I mean, they're just losses on that schedule, and I don't think Colorado gets 6 wins, and I don't think Alabama loses 3. But I think it's crazy. I'd say Alabama losing 3 is more likely.
Yeah, I just at some point you have to believe. You just have to believe in Nick Saban, right? Like that he's going to find a way to manufacture 10 wins. That's just the way it is. But he's right. Mississippi, Lane Kiffin, they do come to Tuscaloosa on September 23rd. They got to go to Texas A&M, but are you really buying Texas A&M? Here's the one you watch that you didn't just mention is Tennessee. Does Tennessee clip them? Tennessee comes to Tuscaloosa on October 21st. Does Tennessee clip them again, or are we overvaluing Joe Milton because of a bowl performance? Because Joe Milton was not good at Michigan. And so, yeah, you're right.
No.
I would take Alabama. I would take Colorado, or in your scenario there, to not win. I think you said not do or to do. I would take Alabama to win 10 games. I think Alabama, I could see them losing to Texas and to LSU. Here's the thing about those 2 losses, though. Both of those games are in Tuscaloosa. Like any game.
Yeah, that's true.
Any game.
Don't they go to Lexington?
No. Yeah, they go to Lexington, Kentucky.
Okay. I mean, that's losable. They're not going to lose it, but they could. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, that's game 11. That's game 10 for them. By then, they better have a quarterback figured out. Now, they go to Auburn. And Hugh Freeze is a little bit of a Nick Saban takedown artist.
A little bit, he is.
By then he should have it figured out. So we'll see. What else is on your mind there, Forrest?
How's the running back from Newberry doing? I can't think of his name right now, but Newberry College running back that transferred in.
Yeah,
Mario Anderson. Again, I haven't heard much information come out about him. Everybody's been pretty high on DK being at the one spot, but as I've stated from most camp reports, sounds like he's doing as reported.
Right now, it sounds third team is kind of what I've understood. It's DeCarrion Joyner and then Juju McDowell and then Mario Anderson and DJ Braswell. So he's running back there. I think he's running third. I should say he's running back there, but he's third right now on the depth chart. Obviously, he'll get some opportunities. You got to have multiple running backs, and he's a bigger back to spell DeCarrion Joyner, whereas Juju's a little bit different. Thank you for the phone call, Forrest. 803-404-6100. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get back out to the Love Chevy phone lines, and there is a documentary coming out on the Florida Gators tonight, Swamp Kings. I'll tell you a little bit about that. You're listening to the early game on 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game on demand podcast menu.
Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
It is that time of year. Kids are going back to college. They've started school again, whether it's high school, middle school, or elementary school. And you know what? If you've got a college graduate that's about to get going, maybe you're thinking they need some transportation and you want to purchase them a nice vehicle. At Love Chevrolet, they've got an incredible certified pre-owned lot from which you can choose from. They also have great deals there where you're not going to spend too much money. So go visit Love Chevrolet, I-26 in Harbison between Lowe's and Frankie's Fun Park. No matter what you're looking for, Love Chevrolet has got you taken care of. That much I can guarantee because they have 14 acres of brand new Chevys. They have a phenomenal certified pre-owned lot, and they have a sales staff that's ready to help you today. The second you drive on the lot looking for that new car, truck, or SUV to the second you leave with a big smile on your face, that salesperson is going to be there answering your questions. They're not going to harass you. They're going to work with you. They're going to make sure that the car buying experience is enjoyable because that is how it should be. And that is why Love Chevrolet has been in business for over 60 years, making the car buying experience enjoyable. Whether it's the $1,000 low price guarantee, the 14 acres of brand new Chevys, or that incredible sales staff, Love Chevrolet's got you covered. Get out to Love Chevrolet today and find new roads.
This is Carl Dukes with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by FanDuel Sportsbook. Make every moment more. The college football polls are out, and Georgia #1, Michigan 2. Ohio State, Alabama, and LSU are all in the top 5. It's just a starting point for us, but let's not get it twisted. Michigan will be good as well as the Buckeyes. And if you think Nick Saban has fallen off, talk to the Coke bottle. Every week is a playoff game. I'm Carl Dukes.
CBS Sports Radio.
Football season is about to kick off, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to win all season long. Because right now, when you bet on a Super Bowl winner, you can get bonus bets every time they win in the regular season. Just pick any team to win the Super Bowl, and you'll get bonus bets for every victory. You can use your bonus bets on spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/win and start earning bonus bets with America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/win.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. HOPE is here. GamblingHelpMA.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts. Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 in New York. Must be present in a state where lawful to wager 21 plus and present in select states. Bonus is issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets and expire 7 days after receipt. Max bonus $50 unless specified otherwise. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino LLC. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG in Colorado, Iowa, Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Tennessee, and Virginia. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342 in Arizona. 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. 1-800-9-WITH-IT in Indiana. 1-800-522-4700 or visit KSGamblingHelp.com in Kansas. 1-877-770-STOP in Louisiana. Visit MDGamblingHelp.org in Maryland. 1-800-522-4700 in Wyoming or visit 1-800-GAMBLER.net in West Virginia.
Sponsored by South Carolina Education Lottery. Get ready for a sizzling summer with Carolina Cash, the hottest scratch off from the lottery. For just $10, you could ignite your summer with the chance to win a scorching top prize of $300,000. Don't miss out on the hottest ticket of the season. See SCEducationLottery.com for game odds and details.
It's the Love Chevrolet Countdown to Gamecock Football.
11 days till kickoff.
Winner of Chevrolet's Mark of Excellence Award for Best in-Class Customer Experience. Maybe that's what Love customers love so much about Love Chevy.
I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com.
Find new roads.
Keith here with Jacob Crowder from First Palmetto Bank. Summer's here and the real estate market's heating up. And if you're building or buying a new home, you need to contact 107.5's longtime mortgage guru, Jacob Crowder. If you've ever needed a guru, it's in this market. First Palmetto Bank is owned and operated here in the Midlands with local decision makers. Processing and underwriting are made easy. If you're looking to make a move, give Jacob a call, 803-719-1005, or email him at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com.
Thanks, Heath. People are buying and building. With school out, we're seeing a lot of activity. Here at First Palmetto Bank, we have products that help home buyers keep payments down. Also, ask me about our refinance options that require zero money out of pocket. Finally, if you're considering building or renovating a home, please ask me about our no-nonsense construction loans. If I can help you, give me a call today, 803-719-1005.
You're making mortgages easy, doing refinances with no money out of pocket, and helping people build and renovate. If you're moving, make Jacob Crowder your first call, 803-719-1005.
Thanks, 107.5 listeners. You can also email me at jcrowder@firstpalmetto.com. My NMLS number is 198432. First Palmetto Bank is a member of FDIC and an equal housing lender.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring sergeants and lieutenants statewide. If you have correctional, security, military, or police experience, you can join SCDC as a sergeant or lieutenant. There's a $7,500 sign-on bonus and increased pay for most security positions. Start a rewarding new career with great benefits today. Visit joinscdc.com to apply now or call 803-734-JOBS for more information.
107.5 The Game traffic, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
All righty, everyone, as we've kept on into our Tuesday morning, it's time for another First Alert Traffic update. It has been a calm morning around the region. Everything continuing on with your typical traffic flows. No major backups or really bad collisions causing issues along our heavily traveled roadways and interstates. As we keep on into this Tuesday, it is going to be a hot day out there. High temperatures climbing near 100 degrees with a heat index near 105. Please keep up that sun and car heat safety out there and be safe on those travels. This has been a WIS First Alert Traffic Update. I'm meteorologist Tony Schiavaroli. Make it a great day.
Few accidents on the non-major highways. Three Dog Road at Dutch Fork Road. Also, Two Nuts Road at South Lake Drive, a tie-up there. I-20 westbound at Fairfield Road, object on the highway that could be slowing things down just a little bit.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile.
The early game
With Bill Gunter, former Gamecock Preston Thorne, and Jen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Reminder, the halftime show broadcasting live from the Tile Shop in Harbison, right next to Total Wine and More today. You can go out and see Jay and Terry. You might want to get there early if Jay and Terry are next to Total Wine and More. I don't know how the 2 to 3 hour will go, but they will be out there at the Tile Shop in Harbison. The Tile Shop does total designs. Come see all 75 full displays. That is today from 12 to 3. You can stop by and you can see Jay Phillips. You can see Terry Ford. They don't live stream, Preston. So, people see us on the, you can go to our live stream, go to youtube.com, search 1075 The Game, and you'll find us. So if you've ever wondered, is Terry Ford actually shorter than me, Bill Gunter? You can go find out for yourself today if you go visit.
And interesting, there are, a fair amount of like mirrors and such in there. I've spent a lot of time in that store because of doing, all of the reconstruction that we've had to do in our house.
Very true.
And so, yeah, I'm quite familiar with the store, but I don't think if they make a pit stop over to Total Wine, they probably need to kind of stay to themselves a little bit because, a lot of tile that could break. So I think we need to kind of keep them kind of limited.
That's a good point. Yeah. 803-404-6100. The Firehouse Subs text line, Walter weighs in. If Shiloh Sanders is starting defensive back for Colorado, they are not winning 4 games. Other one. Yeah.
Was that an update to our TPT Tuesday?
No, he
Shiloh
is. He's
Sanders?
an older. It depends on how far you're going to go back on that. Yeah, how
that is
far
an update.
you got to make a decision.
He's in the one-ply territory for sure.
Another anonymous texter says, as a fan of Big 12 football, if Colorado succeeds, it is great for the conference. I am pro Coach Prime winning 5 or more games for the year.
Okay. Shout out to you. I'm interested to see how that goes.
I'm picturing a new segment too as part of this, transfer portal Tuesday and the whole 2-ply, 1-ply. And I think, when do we wipe somebody from the roster?
What are they,
And
whites?
I
The producer brain is working.
It is working hard.
Oh boy. Out to the Love Chevy phone lines we go. John wants to weigh in on Colorado. John, how you doing this morning? What's on your mind?
Hey, doing good. How you doing?
Doing good.
All right. Man, I just want to say that I believe Coach Frank gonna kind of light a fire on them guys, man, just with his work ethic and his proven track record. I believe that those players gonna go in there and play the hardest that we see them play. I think they're gonna win plus 6, and at a minimum of 6 games. I just believe he's kind of immeasurable, and I believe that I just think that he got the credibility, and folks know that when they play with him, the stars that he can bring and the stars that he can make. I just believe that he ain't no quitter. I know he got the work ethic and just the manlyhood that you need to guide those young guys, and I believe that it's gonna be a great year for Colorado. I'm just sit back and listen.
I appreciate the phone call. Appreciate the phone call, John. Yeah. Real quick. Well, we want to get to the Swamp Kings documentary tonight as well. I got a great text message in here as well that I want to get to, but we'll do this real quick. Colorado this year. Let's go through it real quick. At TCU.
L.
Nebraska in Boulder.
Who knows? Toss up.
Rivalry game, Colorado State.
L.
We don't know anything about Colorado State. We know nothing about Colorado State.
Right.
Yeah, we can answer that. Week 4 at Oregon.
L.
Week 5, Southern Cal in Boulder.
L.
Week 6 on the road, new coach at Arizona State, Kenny Dillingham. Jaden Rashada looks like he's going to win that starting job. I didn't look yesterday to see if it's official yet, but He is projected right now. I feel like I'm calling a political primary. He is projected to win the Arizona State job right now. Jaden Rashada, of course, the NIL kid from Florida who didn't get paid the money, is transferred out as at Arizona State.
Toss up by week 6. We'll figure out what that is. I think if those two teams were playing week 1, I might say it's a toss up, but depending on where that season is going, could have a lot to do with how that game turns out.
Kenny Dillingham, first-year coach, comes from Oregon where he was offensive coordinator. Stanford on a Friday night in Boulder, 10 o'clock ESPN. Count me in for staying up late on a Friday night.
You might get that one.
Yep. Count me in for that. At UCLA, October 28th.
Yeah.
People, this is an odd time for Oregon State because they're about to be relegated to the Mountain West or who knows what. Oregon State is one of the top teams in the Pac-12 this year. Oregon State comes to Boulder November 14th. November 4th. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
L.
Arizona in Boulder November 11th.
Possible.
Another Friday nighter in Pullman. Nobody just strolls into Pullman and takes on Washington State and wins. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go with I'll say an L, but I might graciously give them a possible.
Season ender on Saturday, November 25th at Utah.
Oh no.
So
oh no.
Just going by that, TCU, Oregon, Southern Cal, UCLA, Oregon State, Utah. We've given them 6 definite losses.
Okay.
So then that leaves 6
possibles.
6 possibles.
All right. Now, if this season turned out that way, it would be an astounding, astronomical success.
803-404.
I'll tell you what, you don't want to play Utah at the last game of the year.
No, and it's in Salt Lake. It's in Salt Lake, and and if you make it a night game, Salt Lake's Utah's very underrated.
They're just gonna allow them to just beat you down.
Yeah. We'll get in Swamp Kings. It debuts tonight on Netflix. It is the story of the Florida Gators under Urban Meyer. I'll preview it with this text message from Michael in Florida. Good morning, fellas. I just wanted to weigh in on the Swamp Kings documentary on Netflix. I was born and raised in Gainesville.
Oh, yes.
I was in high school during the Tebow and Meyer era.
Yes.
It was the best and worst of times. This is where the text turns and gets good. My father was a police officer. So you can imagine there's quite a bit of drama. I've got some pretty wild stories of his. I'll be more than happy to share off air. Yeah, he brought several players over to try and straighten them out, including a couple that you might be familiar. He mentions I'll just keep those, but thank you to Michael for weighing in this morning.
That's the insight we need for the documentary.
We'll tell you about this documentary tonight on Netflix. Well, I guess it's out now today, I reckon. It's out if you wanted to go watch it. If you wanted to take the day off and watch it. Preston and I are going to watch it tonight. We'll tell you a little bit about that. You're listening to The Early Game on 107.5 The Game.
Have you missed any of the early game?
You can catch up by going to the Early Game on demand page at 1075thegame.com.
Or by downloading our 1075 The Game app on iTunes or Google Play.
All this talk has made me hungry. All this discussion about college football and now thinking about tailgating and all the great things, but I'm also thinking about breakfast. And you know who has some great thick cut bacon or pepper bacon? Old Timey Meat Market. Bet you didn't think about that. Everybody just thinks about the incredible steaks, the incredible chicken, the pork chocks, the salmon. You get the point. They think about all that, but you know what? Old Timey Meat Market actually has great items for breakfast. Like, again, pepper bacon or thick cut bacon. They even have some incredible Southern biscuits. It's been a staple for my kids and I through the years. You can pop them in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes. You can put a little jelly on them. I'm telling you what, you cannot go wrong. Maybe you just want some simple hot dogs. Well, a couple weeks ago, I went by there. If you think going to the grocery store and getting hot dogs is serviceable, you need to go try Old Timey Meat Market's hot dogs. You will not go wrong. I promise you that. Again, whether it's a steak, whether it's some great chicken, I always go for the Italian chicken skewers. Maybe you want a great snack like some great chicken salad. I put it on a Tostitos chip and a little hot sauce. Fantastic in the afternoon. Old Timey Meat Market's got everything you're looking for. 3 locations to choose from: South Congaree, Irmo, or Lexington. You'll probably run into me at that Lexington store. Get over to Old Timey Meat Market today. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
My truck is old and ugly. We need it.
My car has a ton of miles on it.
We want it.
Ugh, my SUV smells a little funny.
Don't even wash it. Trade it at Galliana Kia on Greystone. Any trade goes at Galliana Kia on Greystone. Get $10,000 trade-in assistance when you buy or lease a new Kia EV6. Yes, $10,000 trade-in assistance no matter the mileage or condition. 2023 Kia Sportage LX. Lease for $199 per month. That's right. A new Kia Sportage for $199 per month. Bring us any competitor's price or payment. The only deal we can't beat is the one we don't know about. Gotta go to Galliana. Any trade goes at Galliana Kia on Greystone. I-126 Zoo exit in Columbia. Call 779-7300 or KiaColumbia.com. EV6 stock number 3K5008. Sportage stock number 3K3026. 24-month lease. 10,000 miles per year. $49.99 to sign. Plus tax tag at $489 closing fee. No security deposit to qualified buyers. Expires Monday.
The 2023 Gamecock football season is almost here, and there's no better place to be on a fall Saturday than at Williams-Brice Stadium. Secure your tickets today to catch a game. Visit thegamecockclub.com for more information on season tickets, single game tickets, and our mobile passes. Options start as low as a $20 monthly subscription. Visit gamecockclub.com to learn more. Whatever the game, whoever you're with, just catch a game.
This is Larry Leitner, owner and founder of Midstate Roofing. And for nearly 30 years, we've continued to be the proven leader in the roofing and waterproofing industry. Midstate Roofing's proven history is your assurance that our professionals at Midstate Roofing will provide the proper advice, service, and results to the needs of your facility in a manner both safe and pleasing to your operation. From high-rise to hospitals, manufacturing to industrial, Midstate Roofing designs and installs bonded systems with a protective guarantee that will keep your operation dry and running long into the future. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And this is Blake Leitner, reminding you to protect that roof with a maintenance contract. Call me today at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. That's midstateroofing.com.
You'll speak to an on-call technician after hours or a Midstate Roofing staff member during hours at 803-356-1919 or online at midstateroofing.com. And as always, tell them Midstate Twins.
If you have a leak, let Midstate Roofing take a peek.
Call Lawyer Lisa. Experience the difference with Lawyer Lisa.
Hi, this is Lisa Hostetler Brown. If you or a loved one are over 65 and haven't completed a long-term care planning consultation, now is the time. Did you know that if you aren't able to afford the high cost of skilled care, your assets can be rapidly depleted to only $2,000 unless you plan 5 years in advance? Visit lawyerlisa.com to see how we can help.
7511 St. Andrews Road, Irmo, South Carolina.
Hello, I'm Roy Finley.
And I'm Dana Finley, owners of AAA Heating and Air.
South Carolina's crazy weather is hard on your HVAC system. If your unit is living on borrowed time, replace it now with AAA's best deal of the year.
AAA Heating and Air will give you an instant rebate of $1,500 plus 0% financing with no money down and a 15-year parts and labor warranty.
This offer is for a limited time. Get 15 years of worry-free operation. A $1,500 savings with 0% financing with no money down for qualified buyers. Call AAA today at 677-1500.
That's a $1,500 rebate, 0% financing, no money down. Call AAA today at 677-1500.
Like the weather, this offer won't last. Call today and we'll install your new unit tomorrow. Call 677-1500. That's 677-1500.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
1075 The Game traffic. Sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Corrections.
South Carolina Department of Corrections is hiring statewide with huge pay raises. Correctional officers can now make $50,000 plus in their first year. Officers must be at least 18 years of age. Visit joinscdc.com to apply.
WIS-TV First Alert Traffic on 107.5 The Game.
Two Nuts Road at South Lake Drive. We do have a report of an accident there, as well as Three Dog Road at Dutch Fork Road. Going to be a hot one today. 100 will be the high. Of course, heat index is going up into the mid 100s. 91 for your high tomorrow, 94 tomorrow, up to 79 already at 107.5 The Game.
What you're talking about. Sponsored by Love Chevrolet. 1075 The Game.
8:35 on a Tuesday morning. Hope you're doing well. As you just heard Jen and the weather report say, it's going to be hot today. So try and stay cool. Try and hang out and relax. You got a good documentary that you can binge watch today. It is called Swamp Kings on Netflix. As I scroll through my Netflix account here on my computer, looking for it, just looking to see. I'm assuming it got released. Yep, here it is. New releases. It was released last night, and you know what else has been released since, I guess, or whatever, because it's got it right in front of it. If you want to get into it, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. Depp versus Heard, I guess, is also a documentary.
That's kind of like Swamp Kings, isn't it?
There's some similarities. Yes, I believe some similarities. 4-part episode. It tells me the first one is Go Hard or Go Home. That is going to be the first episode. 4-part documentary. It is the tale of the Urban Meyer era at Florida. It's got behind the scenes footage of what was going on. I highly doubt that behind the scenes follows them to the Gainesville County Prison or wherever it was. This is from Outkick.com. It says, in the 4-part documentary, the filmmakers take you on a wild ride through the Urban Meyer years at Florida, breaking down each season with eventful commentary. But it's not who was interviewed during the film that will have you rewinding certain scenes on Netflix. It's the behind-the-scenes footage. Netflix was lucky when it came to putting together this documentary. Not only did the director have to persuade a number of players to participate, but it says the director needed footage of those crazy seasons in Gainesville. And after finding the tapes, oh boy, Florida licensed the footage out to Netflix for the documentary.
And this is already starting off on the wrong foot. We already know that this is going to be garbage, because what I want to know about what the Swamp Kings was about would undoubtedly not be licensed by the University of Florida.
Correct.
So this is not a documentary. This is a puff piece. I'm gonna hold judgment, but already starting off on the wrong foot. Anything that I want to know is definitely not authorized.
So it looks like all of them, 3 episodes are 45 minutes. 1 is 47 minutes.
Okay.
4 episodes. It says the first episode is Go Hard or Go Home. New coach Urban Meyer drives the scrappy Florida Gators to unprecedented, intense training with a singular goal: winning a national championship. Episode 2 features, as I'm looking here at the little picture, features a very young Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
It says an influx of young talent energizes the team through the new recruits it says though the new recruits have yet to be tried and tested on the playing field. Number 3 is Trouble in the Swamp.
1 episode?
Media attention, fame, and fortune threaten to distract the Gators from achieving greatness. The team is dealt a crushing blow. Episode 4, and the final one, The Pain of Greatness. Quarterback Tim Tebow and the Gators vow to train and play harder than any team in history. But will their efforts be enough to secure their legacy?
As much as I say this is garbage, that speech, that Tim Tebow speech, I will train harder, and you have never seen a quarterback fight like that. Whew, goosebumps.
I'm going back to Outkick the coverage here, Outkick.com, who says the film features footage that will have you on the edge of your seat, from crazy workouts to locker room scenes that make for intense moments in time. Whether it's Brandon, was it Seiler? For some reason, that doesn't sound right to me. That's what it's spelled on Outkick. Whether it's Brandon Seiler or Tim Tebow going at teammates during pivotal games, or Urban Meyer giving a halftime speech, this 4-part film has it all.
No, it doesn't. It does not have it all. It does not.
So are we going to be are they going to be doing this for every team?
Well, I guess they're doing this because they're playing a really interesting game here. The team was undoubtedly great, but also we kind of know that there was a lot of controversy surrounding this team.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're going to trade on is the idea that we're really interested in this team. And what I would venture to say is that they will not get very much into any of the controversies.
Day weighs in on our Firehouse Subs text line. He says, a documentary about Florida football under Urban Meyer on Netflix? No, that's true. Netflix does love their murder dramas.
True crime.
Well, and I was going to say, and if something weird happens in Florida, or, happens, it's usually, goofy, crime story. in Florida.
Florida men. They had a lot of Florida men.
Yes,
on
yes.
those teams.
I remember. I think it was the game that Tebow scored 5 touchdowns. It was 51-31. South Carolina wore the black uniforms. And I remember before the game, word leaking out about Percy Harvin not playing. It was like, oh, Percy Harvin, South Carolina. I think that was a great thing about Steve Spurrier. You always believed, like, oh, if the other team's missing a player and Spurrier gets into his feelings tonight, starts calling ball plays and is dialing them up, we got a chance, right? We got a chance. And Percy Harvin was out with, it's radio, so you can't see it, but I'm using the air quotes, a migraine. He had a migraine, and we would later find out, no, he was suspended a game because he tested positive for marijuana. We also have the Jarvis Moss situation in which he blocked the kick in 2006, to which he should have been suspended, but they saved him for the next game against, I believe, an FCS opponent where they then suspended him. What are we going to learn in this tonight? I don't know. Or a four-part episode, so yeah, again, each 3 of the episodes, 45 minutes, one of them 47 minutes. We'll probably not do 4 hours of Swamp Kings tonight, but I will get into it a little bit, although I'm still trying to finish up Jack Ryan as well. So, but it is going to be interesting to see. I'm always fascinated by the locker room stuff or the sideline stuff, Preston, because the way football is played with the fans and the crowd and the noise, you can't really tell what's going on the sideline. Like these now, we see Tom Brady doing Hertz commercials, or you've seen Aaron Rodgers hosting Jeopardy and stuff. So you see those personalities, but those personalities typically, I think, are different than the personalities that come out in an emotionally driven, testosterone-laced sideline that is football, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So to get to hear some of the back and forth, or what the conversations were being had or not had, or the words that were being used, that will be an insightful look into what that program was.
0.5 over under 0.5. Does Tim Tebow say one curse word on the sideline?
Okay, that'd be worth watching.
That'd
right
be
there.
revealed. That'd
Yeah.
that'd be something I want to see. Like, and in this game against Ole Miss, he slipped up.
Dang, nabbit.
That was what I was going to go for. Is like he was so mad. Doggone it, lineman block for me.
That's a great one.
shucks.
In this documentary, what's going to be Tim Tebow's harshest language? Gosh darn it, dagnammit, golly geez,
Holy shnikes.
I would
Come
like
on, gang, block.
You scum bum.
Yeah. So I'll definitely be on lookout for that. That would be my totals of what
just a half, because look, Tim Tebow obviously is a great human being and stands for a million great things. But as I just said, that's what I love watching any kind of documentary. The quarterback documentary, I was just looking at it here because I've got my Netflix account up. But I think it's just labeled quarterbacks, which now they can't get anybody to do. Yeah, it's called just quarterback with Mahomes and Mariota and Kirk Cousins, and to hear them on the sidelines, like the stuff where they're in the car. Kirk Cousins in particular, like they lost a playoff game. They lost the home playoff game to maybe the Giants, I think, last year, and it like has him mic'd up driving home with his car. And he's like, "Oh, that's a shame." And his wife's like, "Yeah. One more pass," where he's thinking there was a dropped pass by somebody late in the game. And that if they're riding home not mic'd up, he's shredding that wide receiver who dropped it to his wife.
That's why you always hear the dudes come up to each other, "Hey, I'm mic'd up."
Yeah.
Just in case you need to know.
But it's hard to remember you're mic'd up when you're in a football game or in a locker room at halftime.
With this quote unquote documentary, do we think Urban Meyer's likability meter goes up or down?
Oh, it's down. He's going to be.
You think he's going to go down?
I got a feeling you're going to come out of this thing going,
"Oh." He's in this documentary, which is another reason why I'm like, I don't know. Because I don't know if Urban would have agreed to be in any documentary which tells the truth about him.
I don't know, because I can see a scenario where Florida's like, we got to show that these people that Urban and these guys were completely out of control. We knew nothing.
They were out of control. Yeah.
Although we have the footage.
Still look at our banners, please.
Yeah. We have the footage, but we didn't know anything about this.
Right.
I'll get into this a little bit tonight, see where it goes. But again,
here's the real test, Bill. We're gonna make a pinky swear to watch episode 1.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably watch episodes 1 and 2.
You'll watch 1 and 2. Now, if it's good, you will continue. If it's not, you will stop.
I'll probably watch all 4 because there's 4.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about this off air with somebody the other day. We were talking about Breaking Bad, where I got involved in that during COVID and everything. And it was like, it was Patrick and I actually would talk about it because Breaking Bad was so long. So long. Like, and it got to like episode 40 and I was like, I can't give up now.
Yeah, I don't have the stamina.
I gotta stick through it. That's why I've liked Jack Ryan.
I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna commit, and I will come in with several observations.
I'll just say this, Jen. Preston, leading into going back a few segments, was looking. He wanted to play some audio so people could hear the. And Preston looks at me and goes, "Oh, there's a cuss word in it. Can't play that on air."
Yeah, thankfully I listened to it before I sent it to you, Jen, because
good call.
Mm-hmm.
I sense that, by the way, if you have soft ears or if you have young children around, maybe put them to bed first before.
This probably won't be the one.
Oh, then I can't listen.
You might want to.
I can't watch.
If you want to warm them up for this, then maybe you let them watch like Casino or Goodfellas first,
okay,
so that you ease them into what I think the language in this documentary is going to be.
I'm just saying, there's a cast of characters, and there's obviously one character who I'm wondering if there's going to be any highlights from him. Will we get to mention that he's even on the team? Will they just be like, will they just show plays with no tight end playing in this game? Like, how are they going to work around this whole situation?
Yeah, we'll have you an update tomorrow. Travis weighs in. Wasn't Cam Newton a freshman under Urban as well?
Do we need to know about his laptops? Was there a situation with that?
It'll be great if there's just a thing of Cam on a laptop and we're like, oh, know where that laptop came from now.
There's a lot of things we need to know.
We'll give you a breakdown tomorrow. We'll be back and wrap up the Tuesday morning episode of the early game on 107.5 The Game.
Got something to say?
Ring us up on the Love Chevy phone line. South Carolina's #1 volume Chevy dealer.
At 803-404-6100.
Your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Preston here for Absolute Glass, the premier glass company of the Midlands, offering auto, home, and business glass repair. If your glass is damaged, shattered, cracked, or broken, they can handle the job. Cracked windshields, no problem. They'll come out to your location and replace it for you, usually for free, and they'll work directly with your insurance to take away the headache. So if you're looking to increase the value of your home with new windows or mirrors, Absolute Glass will come out and take care of all of that for you. Windows, mirrors, shower enclosures. I say it all the time. If you can see through it, Ray and Marianne at Absolute Glass can do it. So check them out online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com. That's online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Sponsored by New Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. New Kentucky Fried Chicken Nuggets. This back-to-school season, get your family a 10-piece of KFC's original recipe chicken nuggets for just $5. Tender, juicy, hand-breaded, made with 100% white meat. You've never had nuggets like these. That's finger-licking good.
Golf in the Midlands is a staple of what makes Columbia great. And Charwood Golf Club is ready to host you and your friends for a great day on the links. Call Charwood today and line up that tee time, 803-755-2000, or you can visit them on the web, charwood.com. Charwood Golf Club has a great 18-hole layout that'll challenge you and your buddies and give you a great experience. So call today, 803-755-2000. and book that tee time.
The recent spike in interest rates has many homeowners staying put. If you have a 4% or less mortgage rate, staying in your home long-term makes great sense. Ramjack Foundation Repair wants to remind you that when it comes to maintaining the value of your home, your foundation comes first. Foundation damage can be a serious problem in our area. If you have or suspect foundation damage, the time to call Ramjack is now. Don't allow foundation settlement to jeopardize the value of your largest investment. When it comes time to prioritize home improvement projects, your foundation comes first, and who you choose is critical. Ramjack has spent over 40 years specializing in the science of foundation repair. We aren't roofers or part-time contractors. We are foundation repair specialists trained to identify foundation settlement and offer permanent, affordable solutions. Choose the professionals. Choose Ramjack. Free evaluations, free second opinions. Call 735-3085 or visit ramjack.com on the web. That's ramjack.com.
You haven't tasted real Carolina barbecue until you've experienced Little Pig's Barbecue. Full-service dine-in buffet with barbecue ribs, brisket, chicken, rice, hash, tomato pie, macaroni and cheese, and many more of your favorites. Eat in or take out. Little Pig's Barbecue on Alpine Road is open from 11 to 2 on Wednesday, 11 to 8 Thursday through Saturday, and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Little Pig's Barbecue on Alpine Road. Little Pig's family looks forward to seeing you soon.
Let your kid learn from the best. Hi, I'm Marquette Carr from the Carolina Basketball Association, inviting you to our Fall Skills Camp Saturday, August 26th at Cardinal Newman High School. Elite instructors, including Gamecock standout Jacoby Wright and Zach Davis, plus Tiger standout Josh Beadle. Prepare your child for the season and help improve their skills. Space is limited, so don't wait. Register your athlete aged 10 to 16 years old for the Fall Skills Camp at cba4youth.com. That's CBA, the number 4, youth.com.
Achieve an insanely clean home with Zerorez Carpet Cleaning. Call now and mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game to get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129 or schedule online at zerorezcolumbia.com.
All righty, everyone, as we've kept on into our Tuesday morning, it's time for another First Alert traffic update. It has been a calm morning around the region. Everything continuing on with your typical traffic flows. No major backups or really bad collisions causing issues along our heavily traveled roadways and interstates. As we keep on into this Tuesday, it is going to be a hot day out there. High temperatures climbing near 100 degrees with a heat index near 105. Please keep up that sun and car heat safety out there and be safe on those travels. This has been a WIS First Alert traffic update. I'm meteorologist Tony Chivaroli. Make it a great day.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. The early game
With Bill Gunter, Preston Thorne, and Shen Jensen.
on your home of the Gamecocks. 107.5 The Game.
Gee Willikers, Percy, we needed that first down. Can you yell Gee Willikers on a sideline during a football game?
I mean, there's the infamous idea about Phillip Rivers, who Phillip Rivers never curses and he talks a lot of trash, and it's just a lot of gosh darn it's and magdommits, all those type of ideas.
I'm not saying you can't curse. I've never been on a college football sideline as a player where, again, the emotion, the physical violence gets to you. The things you've been there. The discussions, the heated discussions, whether it's your best friend or your coach or however it may be. I'm always fascinated by the behind the scenes that occurs. I've been on college basketball benches. I understand that baseball is more of a laid back sport, but you still have confrontation. But as I said, football is so energy, so emotionally driven. Preston, I mean, do you remember we saw it? What was it? 2013, I believe. Kurt Botkin and Deke Adams over there fighting.
What a classic!
I mean,
it happens. It happens. It's emotionally driven. There can be at times when there's language used. Also, I've had coaches who did not use any foul language, but would make you still feel an inch tall. So it can happen regardless. There will be an intensity, and for folks like Tim Tebow who maybe don't use language, I'm sure he still got his point across very well as far as how serious he was and how intense he was. And obviously what's really interesting to me is how that particular person could corral that group of characters into walking the straight and narrow as much as possible. Like how they got from Saturday to Saturday is tremendous.
He had a huge assist, I believe, from our buddy Michael's father in the Gainesville Police Department. I believe I'm going with. It will be interesting tonight. Swamp Kings. It's actually on. I keep saying tonight, but yeah, if you wanted to just call in sick today, or if you've got a TV in your office and you have Netflix and you're not in the mood, again, you're looking at roughly a little less than 4 hours, about 3 hours actually. 45, 47, and 45 are something in that ballpark of runtime today for the 4 episodes. But I again, to me, football is fascinating with the locker room, the behind the scenes. Lou Holtz, cusser?
No,
Really?
no, not at all. The only ones he said were D and H, and he said because those were in the Bible.
Okay. All right. One of the funniest things, if you ever go back, it's old now, but the James Bates things where he kind of makes fun of Spurrier, and he talks about gearing up after Florida State had hit Florida late several times the season prior, and they were going up to Tallahassee, and he said, if they cuss at you, cuss back. Just don't use the F word. Right, Coach? Yeah, got it.
Thanks,
Spurrier
Coach.
telling us. I might see if I can pull that for tomorrow. James Bates telling him, they hit you late. Hit him back. It's been a lot of fun. Big thank you to Peter Wilkerson talking about the Carolina Basketball Association basketball camp this coming Saturday. JC Shurburtt. We've ranked some coaches. We'll give you that update again. We didn't get back to it, but the transfer portal update. Preston's got a breakdown. We'll get into that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you a preview. We'll at least watch at least one episode tonight. I might go for 2 of Swamp Kings.
We're gonna go for 2.
We're gonna go for 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got the time
We'll be back
to do
for the first 2 episodes tomorrow.
I got it. We'll hit all that up and more. Y'all have a great Tuesday. You've been listening to Bill, Jen, and Preston, the early game.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
This is Gamecock Athletics Director Ray Tanner, and you're listening to 107.
Y'all have a great day. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow. Take care.